Fear the crab cat. Fear it. I see Jen down there. Who's starting the chat? Matthew Cox is here. Michael Foreman, Blake, Stefan. Of course, Paul is there dropping big dollars. I don't know what Paul does for a living. He single-handedly supports this channel. Thanks, Paul. Jen, you hearing me down there loud and clear? Okay, good. There's Victoria. She's there. She's waving. Wow. That was a crazy premiere. That was a lot of folks. That kind of blows my mind a little bit. Our previous record was 16,000. I think we had 28,000 people in there, something like that. Here's something I was telling Jen pretty recently when we hit 1 million. When the channel was small, meaning like, I don't know, 10,000 or fewer, I would wonder why no one's watching. Like, I was so happy with the content, I would just constantly think, why does no one watch this channel? And now that the channel's big, I walk around going, why does anyone watch this channel? Well, the content's not that good. Why does anyone watch? But I guess you can't be in this game without imposter syndrome. That's just how it goes. So that episode, that was one of my favorites, which was kind of a relief because I was a little late getting started on that. The research was kind of hard to do because the book, because I had to read that book, not the pamphlet that was 57 pages, the long one that was like 170 pages, and the book was just a mess. You know, the end of the world stuff was fine, but the guy was just all over the place. So it was hard to research. It was hard to find what the story was, but I'm happy with the way it turned out. I hope you watched with your sound on. I put so much effort into the sound design. Do you like this mug, by the way? You can have this mug if you want to support your favorite YouTube channel. You go to shop.thewhyfiles.com. You can pick one of these up for yourself. All right, so answer some of these super chats. Is that what we want to do? There's Gino's ear. I don't know. All right. I had the phone like up to, I wanted to get his orifice there on the screen. I don't know what orifice it was, but it was dark and it had some hair. So it could have been anything. Matthew Cox says in a Hecklefish voice, ooh, I'm shaken with anticipation. And how you feel. Michael Foreman dropping by with $1.99. Thanks, Michael. Gonna die in pole shift. Don't need this anymore. Hey, buck up, Buttercup. It's gonna be okay. If Chan Thomas's scenario came true, which it physically can't, like physics won't allow it. But let's say it came true, it would be over before you knew it. You wouldn't even knew it happened. If you standing where you are now, and suddenly you were thrown 1,000 miles an hour against the wall, it's going to be over pretty quick. So don't worry about that. But I have tsunami nightmares all the time. Not as much as I used to, but all the time. And I've read that people who dream about tsunamis and floods is because they feel overwhelmed. And whenever I'm overwhelmed, that's when I have that dream. But it's definitely in my mind. And working on the episode, this was stressful. And I kind of said it in the trailer. It wasn't the same anxiety like with Shadow People, where I had that weird encounter with the witch. Because that was kind of personal and, I don't know, pretty close to home. But the flip side of it was I'm aware of sleep paralysis, and I'm not a big believer in, in ghosts and that kind of thing. But with this end of the world story, the anxiety was different. It felt like it was coming from a deeper place in my brain. Like it wasn't me who was afraid of the end of the world. It was whatever animal I am down below was afraid. And that was even scarier because I feel like that's programmed into our DNA, which means why would it be in there? But this one gave me some anxiety, but I'm still pretty proud of it. Blake K drum covers for £5. Thanks, AJ. Now I need to change my underwear. You do that, man. Man, this would have been a great time to grab Sheath as a sponsor, right? You're watching the Y-Files. Did you shit your pants? Go to sheath.com. Use promo code the Y-Files. Stefan with Something Radio. $10 Canadian. Another great one. Thank you. By the way, it's pronounced Hack You Rocks Radio. Oh, there you go. See, I don't read them in advance. So you put the phonetic spelling in there, Hack You Rocks Radio. And that's a radio guy who does that. Like when you're like a disc jockey or if you're younger than 30, you don't know what that is. But back in like the olden times, music would come out of a box in the car. And there would be people playing music through the box. So anyway, when we were on the air, we would have, at least the stations I worked at, a little like cardboard box in front of it. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm gesturing. Like a little box of index cards, and those would be the promos that you would read on your shift, or stack of papers or whatever. And whenever you had some kind of weird name in there, it would always be phonetic. So I appreciate that, Stefan. That's someone who knows radio. Paul S., $50, and I think he dropped another 100 in the premiere. Wow. 27,000 viewers during a premiere. That's pretty cool. It was. I was hoping to hit the record, the 16,000 record, and that was crazy. It's going to be tough to top that one. I don't know what it was. I don't know why so many people showed up tonight. Maybe it was because the premiere went out earlier, so people had more time to get ready for it. Victoria's nodding. She thinks so. Maybe it's the topic. CIA, end of the world, doomsday. I don't know. But I've learned when you try to replicate something successful with the channel, you're always wrong. So we just keep doing what we're doing. Aurelio Cam for $2. Business idea. Hecklefish OnlyFins. I think you or someone, I'm going to give you the credit for it. Drop that in the premiere, Hecklefish OnlyFins, and I rolled over to my laptop and I sent a message to my wife. Write this down, Hecklefish OnlyFins, because that's super funny. Because we've got 2 sponsor ads to write, and that, I don't know, OnlyFins, it's just funny to me. That's CMB for $4.99. Thank you. That's very generous. See, look, if you're going to do a super chat, go ahead and ask a question or leave a comment. I mean, you could just throw money. That's cool. But I mean, get your money's worth. Dom's Vibranium Bicep. I always appreciate your counter arguments to the subject. Also just picked up a Hecklefish mug. Great. Hang on. Let me do it. Who's calling my cell phone on premiere day? There's the Hecklefish for President mug. I don't know if you saw that in the video. Oops. Yeah, I'm shilling. I'm shilling. I feel weird about it. I'll admit it. But, it costs a couple of bucks to run the channel. And look, if you like this mug, you could have one too. You just have to go to shop.thewildfiles.com, support your favorite YouTube channel. Keep the prices low. We keep the prices low. But I was looking at another channel, which I'm a big fan of. I don't want to call him out because we're getting to the size where he may be aware of it. But let's say it rhymes with Fancers with Mo. And I was looking at his merch. And Mo had shirts up there for like $29, $30. Mugs were $22. These cost us like $8. So I think we put them up there for like 12. And these are big. These are like the big mug. Like you can fist this mug if you have a petite fist. But Mo, he looks like he's padding the merch. I wanted to get to that. So Dom's Vibranium Bicep, always the counter arguments to the subject. Yeah. It's funny to me watching the chat during the premiere, watching the chat for people that are maybe new to the format, that as they're watching the episode, they're debunking it. And I got to tell them, just chill out. You're new, you'll get it. But there are plenty of videos on this Chan Thomas book on YouTube. I didn't find any that gave any kind of balance to it. I found one that wanted to completely destroy it and debunk it and just completely wrecked it, which was fine. But someone's calling twice. I got to check. You know what we'll do?
I literally just put something in my mouth.
He does that. He just throws people out, and there's Gino's ear again. I think that's his ear. I hope so. It could be his nose. Everything okay?
It said private.
Oh.
So, but they
That's
called
weird.
twice, and and maybe even sent a text. Thinking about changing my number. All right, well, look at all these people. Like, we just drop them out of there. We don't just drop them out. So, what was I saying, Dom? So his video just destroyed the book, and that's fine. But like we talked about tonight, there are a couple of nuggets in there that are legit. The magnetic pole shift thing, that does, like, I'm literally afraid of that. I'm afraid of that. I'm not terrified. I'm more afraid of that Baba Yaga who hopped into my bed that night, at Big Bear. But I'm definitely afraid of the pole shift, and every sign says it's happening right now. I mean, our magnetic field compared to 100 years ago is 10% strength. That's pretty low, and the acceleration of the pole moving is really strange. Like, they can't keep the GPS updated because it's moving all over the place. It just in the 90s, it was moving, I don't know, 5-6 miles a year, and now it's up to something like 40 or 50 miles a year. Just a couple of decades ago, it was Canada, and in a year or two, it's going to be in Russia. That's crazy that's happening. And during the flip, without that magnetic field, oof. David Gallich for $10. Thanks, David. Look, if you're going to drop money in there, ask a question. That's Mineself, Yaya, for $5. Please check out Battelle Memorial Institute and how it runs all the seed money from DARPA, and also runs the national laboratory since the late 1940s.
There you go. Guppy needs a new pair of shoes.
No, we weren't doing that one. You're supposed to do this one.
Yeah, good idea. But the human is not going to remember. You better use the tips line.
You got to use the tips line. So I appreciate that, Mineself, and it sounds interesting, and it sounds like you know your stuff. But go to the tips line and put that in. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. And I say it at the end of every episode, but it's true. All these topics come from you guys. I'd never heard of the Adam and Eve story. I never heard of that book before I was looking through the tips. And it was recommended by a bunch of people, a few people. One person recommended it, and I thought I wanted to look into it. That's Jamie or Jaime Gomez for 4,000 cops. I don't know how much that is, but I appreciate the support with all those cops. Joseph Lavelle for $2 Canadian. Thanks, Joe. Mineself is back. Yeah. Epstein's father was a Battelle man. It's nuts. Is that Eisenhower as your icon? I hope so. Yeah. So look, if the story has Epstein in it, I can't do it. I just can't do it for a few reasons. Because of what Epstein was involved with clearly is not advertiser friendly, but also because of all those politicians that are in his book. They don't want the video to come out. But I've said, and I'll say it again. If your name is in that black book, you should go to prison. Whether it's Trump, Clinton, Alec Baldwin, your royalty. If you're in that book, you should go to jail. Snapdragon for $20 Australian. Thanks, Snapdragon. Lindsay Zev, $5. Would love to see you cover experiences of those about to die. Hospice stories of those who see loved ones right before their physical end. Yes, that's a great topic. Looking at the skull experiment and some other stuff like that. You know that I'm into reincarnation. I'm into the death stuff. So I don't know. Gino was there when our dad passed, and Gino said it looked like he saw something. And no, I guess he's listening. Yeah, I guess he's listening.
Yeah, I am.
No, I just had your ear up there. Bruce Rollins. Oh, but Lindsay, yes, we'll definitely get to something like that, and I'll do it soon. I know I say that, we'll do it. No, I'm interested in that topic. I'm interested in that. It's kind of sad, but I am. Bruce Rawlinson, $5 Australian. Thanks, Bruce. The Lazy March for $20 Australian. Great episode. Thank you. And Lord Hecklefish, you're very welcome.
Ooh, I finally love hearing the phrase, just a tip.
Oh, that's rude. Tom Garrett, $10. Another great episode. I was hoping you'd do the Adam and Eve story at some point. Well, there we go, Tom. Definitely not looking forward to that weekend magnetic field. I'm not either. That's a real thing. And if you look into it, like science journals, even science magazines, people are talking about it, but you rarely will hear anything like that on the news. Who would click on that? You really have to sell it now. You have to kind of clickbait title like poles are shifting and you're probably going to die. Then people will click on it. T. Orlando Pearson, $2. Little tip to support the channel. I appreciate a little tip. Myself is back for $2. Battelle created the Blue Boys crash recovery teams. I don't know what you're talking about, but I appreciate the tips. You can put that in the tips line. I appreciate the tips, the money. The tips line is a suggestion. I was instructed to change that because people were confused, but now it's too late. The branding is, I've committed to it. Whoa, Ryan P, $50.
Ooh, thank you, human. You made my dorsal fin tingle.
Love your work. Hope to work with you one day, man. So much respect for your effort. Well, I hope to work with you too, Ryan, depending on what you do. You know, if you work for the IRS, we're not going to get along. But if you're creative, then certainly. Krishna Mirja, $5 super sticker. Thanks, Krishna. Augusto Memoshet, $10. In your Hollow Moon video, you mentioned stories about the moon arriving around 12,000, 13,000 years ago and stabilizing the climate. Maybe that's why we haven't had a major pole shift since. And that's interesting. Could be that. But we haven't had a pole shift in almost 800,000 years. So if that story is true, and what Augusto's talking about is there are hieroglyphs and stories with indigenous cultures about how the moon, they talk about the sky without the moon, and then the moon arrived later, which stabilized the climate, in these old stories. But we haven't had the pole shift in a long, long time. We're definitely way overdue for it. The thing is, nobody knows the pattern. Like, it's totally random. If you look at the shifts over time, sometimes the pole flips and then flips right back. We don't want that. But sometimes it flips and it stays like that for a couple of million years, and then back and forth, it averages out to 300,000 years. So it's happened about 1,000 times since the crust cooled. So, 1,000 times. So why shouldn't it happen? I hope whoever is in charge of that is paying attention. Because you got to harden the electric grid, right? Stop worrying about the gas stoves and make sure the electricity is okay. Because if that flips, we're going to need the gas stoves, right? Joseph Lavelle, $10 Canadian. Penelope Petra, $9.99. Hecklefish is the GOAT. Also, can you please sit elegantly and wish me safe travels? Thank you for everything you do. I don't know how to sit elegantly. I guess I got my legs crossed like this, and I wish you safe travels, I guess. You got your $10 worth. I don't know if that was elegant. I definitely pinched my scrotum. DF Sites TM, $2. Say hi to Christy, Aiden, Damien, Anthony, and Anne Berlin. Hey, guys. Wow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, which means each of you averaged about 35 cents in that tip. Which is fine. I'm just doing the math. I'm just saying. Feline Pollard, she's been a fan for a long time for 99 cents. Thanks, Feline. Always good to see you in the comments. Casey Olson, $25. This episode had a lot in common with the Netflix show Ancient Apocalypse. I think so. Whenever I do a story that's about Younger Dryas or civilizations before ours, Graham Hancock you're always going to run into him. And as you know, I'm a fan of his. So he's kind of always on my mind, like writing the episode. I'm like, oh, Graham Hancock said something like this on Rogan, and they'll go get lost in that for an hour. But yeah. Blackbeard is back. Always good to see you in the chat. Blackbeard, $5. Everyone gets one bro. Still makes me laugh. You only get one. You only get one bro. When the channel was smaller, I had you can customize YouTube so that certain words show up in the comments that they just won't get published. Right now, you could just publish anything. It doesn't matter anymore. But back then, when I'd wake up in the morning and I'd go answer my comments for an hour, which an hour would allow me to answer all my comments and still have time for coffee. And it was just constantly, you look like Ben Shapiro. I think that's when my face was rounder. That was my fat year. And then people would constantly say, bro, actually, bro. Because, the channel does a lot of facts and stuff. So tonight's, that's my ringtone. I don't know if you can hear that. Should we answer it? Who's this?
Here we go. It's me.
So, did you hear that on speaker? Did you hear that down there? I picked up and it was my ringtone playing, and I heard some person's voice. I gotta change my number. Once in a while, not that often, but once in a while, I'll get a phone call from a fan, and it's always kind of awkward. Like, hey, I'm sorry to do this, but if you can give me a call back, I really need your help. I found this UFO in my backyard, and I harvested bodies out of it. I don't know what to do, and so maybe we can hang out and go bowling. They're really strange. So you don't have to do that. You can just email me. It's fine. I read them. Abari for $1.99. Best episode yet, AJ. Love the 11-600 Yeah, that number keeps coming up. It can't be an accident, but I'm glad you like that one. I did too. Thomas James, $2. Please cover Noah's Ark on, I think he means Mount Ararat. Yeah, I'd like to cover that. I want to do the Ark of the Covenant first. But Noah's Ark would be cool because we're finding some interesting evidence the last few years of survivors of the flood in that area. That's kind of cool. Ronald Martin, $5 super sticker. Thanks, Ronald. Chester Utton, $5. New Hampshire in the house. Holla, New Hampshire. We used to go to Mount Monadnock outside of Keene for, 5 or 6 years when we were youngsters. Climbed up Mount Monadnock. And that I definitely went, like, as a New Hampshire person, that I went there because who could say Mount Monadnock that easily? You hear how it rolls off the tongue? Jay Page, $50. Wow.
Cha-ching! I appreciate the tip, human. Time to hit the tables, baby.
All right. Good luck at the tables. Love the episode you rock. Thanks, Jay Page. Whoa. Miko 6 for $100.
Oh yeah, tip of the morning, human.
Saludos de Colombia. What are your thoughts on the Tic Tac UAPs or UFOs? Also, Black Ops, something else. I don't know. I don't know about the Tic Tac UFOs. I've read a couple of interesting articles about how they could be military aircraft and that were on maneuvers. And I saw something interesting about how the Tic Tac video might have been manipulated. I don't know enough about it to tell you for sure, but I don't know if those are aliens. But I believe that those exist. The UAPs are there, but I don't know if they're aliens. If you watched the ARV episode a couple of weeks ago, I kind of go into how we may have the technology to do that stuff, and how we can move air vehicles, that seem to defy physics. So that was a fun episode. If you want to check that out, that one scared me. Not like afraid of the end of the world. That one scared me like the military or the government would find me. I was uncomfortable with it. Michael Miller, $4.99. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Mackie for €5. Hey, AJ, keep up the good work and looking forward to 2 million subs. You deserve at least 10. Much love from Croatia. Thanks, Mackie. 1 million seemed like impossible. 2 million seems crazy, but I appreciate that. I think we can do it. Well, Mindself is back, but Mindself has upped his tips to $5 now. So I'm going to speak more slowly. No crustal displacement, but the solar micronova is coming in the mid-2030s. Suspicious Observers channel has a wealth of info on the topic. Thank you. Suspicious Observers, that O is a 0. If you like tonight's episode, then check out his channel. I ended up on his channel researching this episode. I might have even used some stuff from it. Thanks, man. And after watching 1 or 2 videos, I subscribed to it. But it's not a fun channel. It's terrifying. A lot of his stuff is a stretch, but some of it has good science behind it. So solar micronova coming in the mid 2030s. The thing is, you can't really predict that with the way the solar cycles are. By the way, the sun flips its polarity like every 10, 11 years. So it's a thing that happens. I don't know how you predict a micronova. In the 2030s, that's like 8 years away. And you would see all kinds of activity in the corona that would indicate that something bad is coming, an increase in fusion. But myself, I could be wrong, and no one's going to be around to correct me. 2030. Rokar for $2.99 Australian. Westfall UFO sighting, Melbourne, Australia, 1960s. Please. Yes, I'm aware of that one. With the UFO stories, I need to have visuals. So I don't know if there are visuals with that, but I'll check into that. That's why we haven't done Rendlesham yet, because that's a great UFO story, but there's not anything to look at. So we're just, when I'm stuck and I don't know what to put on the screen, I do B-roll of the Earth. Whenever you see the B-roll of just the Earth turning, that, oh shit, AJ didn't have anything. He's just filling B-roll. That's what that is. Don't tell anybody. Cave Dweller, 1965. Cave Dwellers were actually way before 1965. For $10, super sticker. Thanks, Cave Dweller. Delta Dude for £5. What happens if you jumped at just the right time as everything shifted? LOL. We all need to start skipping, not walking. Yeah, that's one of those old things. That's one of those old, what happens if you jump in an elevator while it crashes? But that's not how it works. Because of locality and relativity. If the Earth suddenly stops while you're in the air, that might work. We'd have to look at the momentum formula on that. Full Circle, Florida, $2. Love the show. Thanks, Full Circle. Dan Raxla. All right, hold on. There's no tip on here, which means someone flagged it because it was funny or interesting. Let's see what we got. AJ, you're like Edison Carter with Max Headroom's haircut. I don't know if you kids remember Max Headroom, but it was a really cool show before he was a famous, Coke pitchman on BBC. Edison Carter. Should I have done something with it? Now I'm self-conscious. Jules Fontenot, $5. Haven't watched the new video yet. Can't wait. Love the channel. Great storytelling. Simulation, still my favorite. I like that one too, Jules. You shouldn't be here in the chat because I'm spoilers all day long. I'm spoilers. Tyler Blackie Moore, $1.99. This channel has made my trust issues skyrocket. I feel you. Doug W, $5. How much for the giant Hershey kiss on top of Hecklefish's bowl? Well, it's more than $5. I got to tell you that. It's more than $5, Doug. But every tinfoil hat has its price. Christopher Barfoot, $20 Canadian. Love the channel. Keep up the great work. Thanks. How is this story any different than the Book of Revelation? It's really not. It's in the Adam and Eve, Genesis, Adam and Eve, but in the Adam and Eve story, his book, is all kinds of religious stuff in there. He covers Genesis. He talks in the 1993 edition. He talks about Revelation. A lot of it's in there. Dr. Thomas was clearly a religious man, so there's a lot of that in there. I left most of it out because it got really wacky. It's delicious. It got really wacky, so I left it out. But you might like the book. I bought it for my Kindle. I think it was 99 cents, but you can find it online for free. And if I usually link the free version down below. I don't remember if I did that, but you can find it for free, and you can see what he has to say about the comparisons with Revelation. It's pretty interesting. Jordan, $5 Canadian. Any interest in doing a video on a creepy owl cryptid? You know, I'm not a big fan of cryptids. Called Loab. You're losing me. AI cryptid or owl cryptid? A creepy woman randomly appearing in AI generated images and nobody knows why. That's interesting. That's interesting. I want to look into that. A woman randomly appearing in AI generated images. Nobody knows why. I'm assuming that's like Mid-Journey. Jen's waving. You're waving. Does that mean you want to go? You want to go on? Everybody wants to be a star.
Stop it. I just saw a thing about this, and if you Google pictures of her, she is terrifying looking. And it's just this creepy face. And when people try to do AI generated images, she is showing up all over the place, and she is terrifying.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can get it. Hang on. All right, I think you seeing that.
Yep.
All right, so what am I looking for here?
Just Google
Creepy
Loab.
old woman. Is our AI art? Is it Mid-Journey that she's showing up in? Oh well, here's a couple. There's Loab. There's that. I'll open those. I'll check the images tab. Whoa!
Yeah.
It's the same woman.
It's the same woman.
Oh, that gave me the chilies.
Yep. She's creepy.
I'm gonna hope it's the same. There's Jen. There she goes. I'm gonna hope it's the same woman because that's how the algorithm has been trained. But you'd think that the algorithm has more faces in its database than this one. Oh my! All right, Jordan, this is worth looking into. Smithsonian's got an article. Why is her name Loab? Why is her name Loab?
No clue. But she is creepy.
She must be creepy because we just added like 500 new viewers on the live stream. What's up, 8,000? Yeah, that's... And the little one? Oof.
Ugh.
Is Victoria scared? I don't know if Victoria's scared. She's definitely
Keep
scared.
catching Victoria when she's eating.
Right in the middle of a bite. You know that's how I do.
Yes.
All right. Let's get her off. There she goes. I need a different window. I can't look at her. That's scary. So, all right, Jordan, you win. You win. We got to look at that. Byron Lotus, $5 Australian. Such a shame YouTube crashed so many times during the stream. Do you ever get worried that your content is being monitored? Content is definitely being monitored, but you're not an official Y-Files viewer until your computer crashes during the stream or the app crashes. I was able to get through today, although it was tough, but last week it crashed 2 or 3 times. Now, I don't know what that's about, but I definitely feel like the channel was being held back for a long time. There's Paul for $20. Do you come across the YouTube channel website Suspicious Observer? Yeah, I talked about him just a few minutes ago, Paul, while researching this. They are a pseudoscience channel that follows the subject as well as related to things like solar flares. Yeah, so if tonight was fun, Suspicious Observer, go check out his channel. And his channel, by the way, it's definitely pseudoscience-y, but it's entertaining. After like 30, 40 minutes, I couldn't take it anymore. It was just too frightening. But it's a big channel. It's not like he's a guy in a basement, making BitChute videos. Suspicious Observer's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers and tons of videos. Like, I think he does one every morning. I think he does like the morning news, good morning, the morning scare the shit out of your news. So he's committed. Andre Pilly, thanks for another great video. You're welcome. What are your thoughts on deja vu and prophetic dreams? Deja vu, science can't explain that, but I believe deja vu is something supernatural. I can't really tell you what it is. There's some that think it's the simulation, something changed in the simulation. So so you're kind of getting caught up, or you're reliving the same moment because the code changed. And that's, I know the Matrix said that, but that theory's been around for a long time. Other people say that it's an alternate universe or reality kind of intersecting with ours. Some people just say that humans have the ability to see the future, and we're seeing that. So I don't know. Deja vu is something that, according to what I read, fades as you get older, but I still get it from time to time. And not too long ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I had deja vu that lasted, I don't know, it felt like 10 minutes, where to the point, like I'm sitting there going, oh, I'm having a deja vu. That's weird. And then it kept going. And it was like, okay, that's enough with the deja. Like, it was really creepy. Like, that's enough. I actually sat down and just did nothing for a couple of minutes because I was afraid that I would start predicting stuff like, oh, behind this door is this, or, this happened, which I didn't want to have happen. Prophetic dreams, I don't know. I'm not a big ESP guy. I don't deny its existence. I just feel like, most everyone who says they're a medium or has ESP doesn't, and they're not. But I think some people could. And there's that interesting theory that we all have that capability, and then eventually our physiology will evolve to allow all of us to communicate telepathically, to have telekinetic powers. Brett Newman for $20 Canadian. I appreciate that, Brett. Thanks so much. What chef? ? $2 Australian. Greetings from Australia. G'day. CMB, awesome show. My favorite. Thanks, C. I think I saw you in the chat. Rangelito84 for $20.
That's what I'm talking about.
My son Alex and I love your show and Hecklefish. We recently bought the tinfoil mug. Thank you for the awesome content.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, he sounds all right. All right, Rangelito, say hi to Alex for me. Hey, Alex. Byron Keck, $1.99. Suspicious observers. We're here. Yep. Lish Rish, $10. Seeing you talk to us in real time is awesome. Congrats on excellent show tonight. Hey, thanks, Lish. I appreciate that. Howard Chen, $10 super sticker. Thanks, Howard. Dr. Gonzo, $5. If you ever do Georgia Guidestone's show, holla. I live close by, and I know the banker who knew. Oh, that's interesting. I had the Georgia Guidestones. I had it teed up before before it exploded. So people keep asking for it. I don't know if there's a story there anymore since, because of what happened. If go in the tips line and send that in there if you want to see Georgia Guidestones. It feels weird now that it's gone. Like, this is what it was. But if you want it, I'll do it. Dinks is back. Dinks has been with the channel a long time. $14.99 Australian. You're killing it. Thanks. What a premiere. 28,000 watching. I count you and Jen. The fish rock. Before we started tonight, there was 2,000 or 3,000 people in the lobby, just waiting. I told Jen, I said, I think we have a chance for the record tonight, which is be 16,000. We blew the doors off of it. I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. But she's all right. They're excited. They're dancing down there. That's Steph MB. That's Steph. $5. Thanks, Steph. Jared English for $20 Canadian. Great show. Plenty of suspicious observers watching tonight, which explains your audience. If you want to understand the science behind all this, check out that channel. You might be aware I'm aware of that channel. The Major, $5. Great show. You should check out the Gulf Breeze sightings in Florida.
Ooh, I love this one. Keep the ideas coming, human.
Put that on the tips line, Major. Oh, I think he's literally a major. I see the gold leaf. Thank you, sir. Bop Hadiz Games for $5. I would give more money, but I YOLO it all into Bed Bath & Beyond because of Reddit Wall Street bets. Mostly, I don't know what you're talking about. Now, I appreciate the $5, but look, if you're on the stream and you found my number and you're calling, it's, you can wait until the stream's over before you do that. Should I answer it? 480. Where's 480? Is that Tucson? I'm just turning it off. Very unprofessional to to have the phone on. Very unprofessional. Yeah, so if you find my number on the internet, there's really two choices. One is don't call during the live stream, and the second choice is don't call. Either of those are fine. Old Niles Guitar Tube, $20 Canadian. Thanks. I've had a long-running nightmare about John Carpenter's The Thing for years. Yeah, that's a scary one. Also, this is the best YouTube channel. Thanks, dude. You're very welcome. Yeah, The Thing is a scary one. It still holds up. Jen, you like that one, right?
I love that one.
Anything
So
Kurt
good.
Russell, we watch.
Yes. Well, and
Like, I just watch.
the practical effects in that are amazing. I'm a horror
They're
movie
good.
fan. AJ is not, but
Yeah, anything Kurt Russell's going to be good. Whenever Jen says so, I dump her right off the screen. That's how I know. That's how I know to get rid of her. Yeah, I watched Escape from New York not too long ago. Actually, that's John Carpenter also, right? Yeah. And I watched it with the with the commentary with Kurt Russell and Carpenter doing the commentary. It was super fun. Like if you're a fan of Escape from New York, and how can you not be? It was really fun to watch with the commentary on. It really was. Old Niles Guitar Tube. Check out Old Niles Guitar Tube right now for all your guitar tube needs. CMB is back for another $9.99. Appreciate that. See, Lenzor, $10 Australian from Oz here. Made big fan. I think this was so popular due to Ancient Apocalypse show. Very relevant. Maybe that's on people's minds. If the Y-Files had a forum like an interview format, not this, like if we talk to actual people, I'm 90% sure that we could have or could get Graham Hancock on here. I'm pretty sure that we could. I know we can reach him. And I think we have the audience that it would work if he's plugging. But I don't know what that format is. There are people I'd love to have on, but I don't know what the format is. I don't know if it's just talking across the table, a la Rogan. I really don't want to do Skype, or Zoom interviews, conversations, but that's what everybody does now. Maybe we do that. I don't know, but I've been a fan of his forever, since the 90s. Scott Genty's, his books are on the shelf. First editions. Scott Genty's Canadian, $2 Canadian. Please do serial effect generator episode.
Yeah, good idea. But the human is not going to remember. You better use the tips line.
DJ Charlie Boy, exclamation point, for 179. Any chance of doing a vid on Bob Lazar? The chances are slim because a few reasons. He's been covered so much since the 80s. There are documentaries about him. And if I can't bring something new to the story, then I really don't want to do it. Because otherwise I'm not really bringing any value. Like there are videos out there about what we talked about tonight, Chan Thomas, the Adam and Eve story, but good luck finding one that tracked down his real name, Dr. Chauncey Powers Thomas. But, so it's those kinds of things. Like if you already knew the story, I want you to watch and be like, oh, I didn't know that was his real name and he was from Missouri or any of that stuff. So Bob Lazar, I don't know what would be new, and Rogan kind of ruins it, right? If he's been on Rogan, it's all been said. It's all been asked. But if you put it in the tips line, there are tons of people who are requesting Lazar. Eventually, I will just break down and do it. But when it tanks, Charlie Boy, I'm going to blame you. Jay Page for $50.
Oh, thank you for the tip. I'm saving up to build a bunker to protect me from the lizard people. They're coming to get you.
13-year-old daughter loves the show, loves Lord Hecklefish. He's a strict but fair Lord. Thanks, Jay. Say hi to the little one for me. Bill is 13 is not that little. Oh, 13-year-old daughter, huh? Oof. Next. I mean, this, maybe 4 or 5 years. It will be less stressful. 6 years, it won't be as stressful. Billa Zilla $4.99. Do a great reset video. That's a tricky one. By the way, put it in the tips line because I'm not going to remember. Great reset usually ends up with a content warning on YouTube, which we don't want those. Luma Love for $1. Thanks, Luma. Right? Is that a moon or a banana? What do we think? Is that a moon or a banana? Jen says moon. Oh, yeah. Victoria's watching Netflix on the other screen. That's fine. Ryan H for $5. Hear me out. Hecklefish live in these hangouts. VR tuber style. Have Hecklefish host it. What do you think?
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to do it. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Scott DeWolf. Always good to see Scott in the comments. 20 Canadian. So during watching this episode, I like the way he writes this. It's very conversational. So watching this episode, it reminded me of dystopian TV shows. My favorite is the show Revolution. Do you have a dystopian type show or movie that you enjoy? Oh, I like all of those. I like every dystopian, like every apocalypse movie, dystopian, but that's kind of like for this episode, I watched Waterworld. I like that movie. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm a little ashamed, but I like that movie Waterworld. I think it got beat up unnecessarily. But dystopian, I got to think on that. Because I don't think you mean apocalypse, right? You mean kind of like alternative history. Scott DeWolf, let me think about it. Spencer Corpuz for $2. Best episode yet. Scary as hell. Thanks, Spence. I was scared. I just felt the anxiety in my gut, working on that. Billy Knight for, by the way, did you see all the visuals that I think it was chapter 3, where all the, when he's reading the book and everything's falling apart? I basically pulled every clip from every disaster movie I could find. That's what's in there. We got, how many can you name? Let's see. We got, how many can you name? Did I say that already? Or was it in my head? San Andreas was in there. Knowing, you wouldn't have got that one if I didn't tell you that. Knowing was in there. Nicolas Cage, very underrated movie, by the way. Speaking of premonitions, Knowing was a fun movie. Day After Tomorrow was in there. That movie was okay. I'm not a fan of his. But there's I think it was called Monsters Mega Tsunami. It was like a Japanese movie. And you could tell it's kind of lower budget because we cut from Deep Impact, which has that cool tidal wave, and then Mega Tsunami. 25 years later, it still doesn't look as good, but it had some great scenes in there. And what else? There were a couple more. Billy Knight, $2.99. Can you please check out Laird, Scranton, and the Dogon? Yeah, I think I could check that out.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Drop it in the suggestion box, human.
Yeah, that's the plan. Big A, $48, $5. Love the show. And Hecklefish for President. Speaking of Hecklefish for President, you can have your own Hecklefish for President coffee mug or T-shirt. All you have to do is go to shop.thewhyfiles.com right now. Support your favorite YouTube channel. Use the promo code LizardPeople, LIZZIDPEEPLE, one word, for 10% off your entire order. That's shop.thewhyfiles.com. Support your favorite YouTube channel today. Ranch dressing for $2. I hate ranch dressing. You can fist this mug, belongs on a mug.
Whoa, this is one smart human. Are you sure you're not pot goldfish?
You can fist this mug, belongs on a mug. I'm doing it. I'm definitely doing it. It's just going to say you can fist this mug. That's it. Maybe we'll do a little fist icon, or we just leave it like that. Just so you got company over and you grab the mug, and they're just going to be looking at that, but never tell them what it means. Just give them a little. Richard L. Lit Alien. Is it Litalian? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it looks like Lit Alien to me. But, I've been working on this channel for a couple of years. Joe Bohalski for $9.99. Looking forward to a new Y-Files ? Story all week. Oh, because of the logo. Nice. Glad it's not on Fridays because that's drinking day. Just the one? So are we... I clicked the buttons on StreamYard here. I know we're on YouTube because I can see y'all. 9,000 people. I don't know why. But I clicked the buttons for Twitch. Sorry, that's unprofessional. And Twitter. Are we streaming there? Can somebody check? I mean, all right, you know what? I can check. Hang on. Oh, check out Twitter. And look, if you want to follow, we're OMG the Y Files on Twitter. Go ahead and give us a follow. Tweet all the time. Actually, I don't. A couple of times a day, but I answer every tweet I can. Holy crap, we're on. We're on. No, please. Look at that. Look how meta is that, right? Look at how meta that is. Because we're it's a little delayed. And then the guy in the small window, it goes again. And there he is again. It's fractal, isn't it? All right, that's enough. We've got VII Rise for $10. What are your thoughts on the collective unconscious theory and all the research going into it? Some out in the open, like the Global Consciousness Project, while other you have to really dig to find. I don't know anything about it. So I don't know if you got your $10 worth there, but I don't know anything about it. Since there's 9,000 people here, there are new people. Oh, I can't look who popped up. I need a new tab. That's terrible. So yeah, for the new people, I try to be as honest as I can in that I'm not an expert in any of these topics. I consider myself an entertainer who researches. I'm a reasonably smart guy, and I write and research, and I talk to a fish. So I don't really know too much about the topics, but besides the surface information, like the Adam and Eve story, I had heard zero about it. I never heard about it, but I know there's plenty of people in this audience that knew all about it. People were in the comments going, "I have the unedited book. I have the book with handwritten notes. I never heard of it before." So it's one of the reasons why I don't go on podcasts, is because what am I going to talk about on a UFO podcast or a conspiracy podcast? You know, big shout out to Sam Tripoli. If you into conspiracies, his show's a good one. And we talked about me jumping on there with him, but I would just sit there, me without my fish to Leon. I don't know how entertaining I would be. So, you know, people have asked, you know, go back on Rogan. You know, I don't know how good of a show that would be because I'm not an expert. His shows are good when the person he's talking to is just a definitive expert in the subject, you know, or like a comic or somebody really funny. But me, I don't think it would be an interesting show. So VII Rise, I know nothing about those theories, but I'm intrigued. If you put them in the tips line, I will look into them. There's Tony Lewis for $10. Have you come across the channel Suspicious Observers? I have. Thank you for the $10. Daniel Clark, $20. When can we get our hands on a Crab Cat mug? You can get it right now at shoptheywifiles.com. I think. Hang on. Let's see. Let's buy stuff. And some of these are just the stock. Hang on. Sorry, Daniel. I'm gonna hide your comment because this is weird. It just makes me look short. I just look, you know, and I'm already short enough. This just makes me look really short. So just hide you while I do this. Some of these are models, but we have like real people in these photos. Man, that one gets me every time. How adorable with the hecklefish and the tinfoil hat. I can't take it. I can't take these kids. Pets premium. I'm looking. I thought we had a drink. There's drink. There it is. That's the evolution mug. Nobody ever buys that. Hecklefish spirit animal one. It's good. There's Hecklefish for president. That's this one here. My name is Tinfoil Mug Conspiracy. Audit the Fed. Snitches get stitches. Here's Lily. Double hat me. Sweet Fancy Moses, obviously aliens. There it is. And of course, it's the last one. There you go. Fear the Crab Cat. There's your mug. $10. See what I'm talking about? That other channel that rhymes with Fancers with Mo. His mugs are like $20 bucks. $10. $10. So yeah, so we don't make a fortune on those, but I just can't bring myself to charge much. But maybe 10 is kind of low. Maybe we'll go $12 on that. So look, if you want to support your favorite YouTube channel, pick up this Fear the Crab Cat ceramic mug, 15-ounce mug now, because that price, they're not going to last at these prices, because after this live stream, I'm gonna raise the price on that. That might be a little low. So yeah, you're gonna want to jump on that now. Where was I? Crab Cat mug, Lazy March, $10 Australian. I hope not the CIA that called you, AJ. Don't pick up the phone. Laughing emoji, crying emoji. I don't think it was. I think it was someone in the chat found my number. So, the thing about when the CIA wants to talk to you, they don't call in advance. It's just, hang on.
Somebody in the chat just said, WTF is a crab cat.
What?
They must not have seen the episode.
Oh, they don't know what a crab cat is.
Right. So they were asking the crab cat. Oh, and somebody else said, when can we get a crab cat plushie? Victoria just went,
No. We got a
Genius. Yeah, we're gonna work on that plushie right away.
yes.
Yeah, so doesn't know what a crab cat is. That's hilarious to me. But there's no explanation on there. Like, there's no logo on that mug. And that's what makes it funny to me, is because people, if you don't, not just know the channel, not just know the WIFI files, you have to really know the content to even know what a crab cat is. Because he talked about the crab cat for like 5 seconds, and that was it. By the way, that's a cryptid that's a shadow creature that he fears. It's a half crab, half cat, which, if you're a fish, that would be pretty scary. So yeah, there's no logo on there. There's nothing that indicates that it's from the channel. It's just a random product. I'm laughing because I still have the product up, and it just makes me giggle. And look, you can have one right now for $10. They're not going to last at those prices. They're going up. They're going up. Bohemia Bees is back. I saw you in the chat, Bohemian. Thank you for that super chat. Love this premiere. Big fan of the channel. I'd love to learn from you how to grow a channel like yours. I have 10,000 subs, but struggling to get beyond that. Well, everyone go to Bohemia Bees right now and subscribe. Let's see what's going on Bohemian Bees. I'll leave that tab up. By the way, those are only $10. All right, so we got YouTube, Bohemian Bees. There you go. What do you got? Oh, it's a bees channel. Okay, so I love the bees channel. I look too short. Here's the first thing. Can you guys hear the music or no? Okay. So I love bee stuff. I follow the Texas beekeeper, that chick who was on Rogan the other day. I couldn't believe that she was on there. So I follow her channel, and a couple other bees. If there's wasps stuck in the awning, I follow those. Can't watch them with Jen. She won't watch those with me. But she'll watch the Tobro. She'll watch the Tobro where they cut into like toes. She'll watch Pimple Popper with stuff oozing, but she won't watch bees. All right, so I like the bees, but the music is terrible. Terrible. Gangster rap or whatever it is. I don't know if there's a gangsters or that's just what you guys listen to. But yeah, the music's terrible. All right, here's Bohemian Bees channel trailer. I don't hear awful music, so that's good. This is a good trailer.
That's a good sign. Great brood pattern. Good frame.
Yep. So Bohemia Bees. Let's see how you're doing with your views. Okay. It takes a minute, BB. It takes a minute. So here's how I went from 0 to 15,000 subscribers. I made videos for 2 years that nobody watched. That's my secret formula. So if that's what you're doing, you're on the right track. No, but seriously, are you in these? Let's
Research
get a look
shows
at you.
Nostalgia can help you remember ads.
Oh, you're
Customize
monetized,
and save with
right?
Liberty Mutual.
Liberty, 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 liberty. That was cool. Did you pay for that?
From Bohemia Bees and,
There he is.
we're doing
Look at
some
him.
work in the apiary today to make sure that our colonies have enough protein, since we are in a pollen dearth.
All right, so there's your plug. There's your plug, Bohemia Bees. So yeah, how to grow the channel. It just takes a long time to do. You have niche content. That's great. That's smart. Because you have stuff that only 1% of people will watch, but the 1% are really into it and they're going to watch all your stuff. And it just takes a while. I don't know how long your channel's been there, but the Y-Files was a small channel for the whole time up until a few months ago. The whole time. Nobody watched. Even when the subscribers blew up. By the way, if you haven't watched my New Year's video, I tell the whole story. But when those subscribers blew up from the shorts, we were at 250,000 subscribers, which is a bananas, right? Videos were averaging like 1,500 views, 2,000 views, because people weren't watching. They were coming from shorts and other stuff. They just weren't watching. 5,000 views was a big one. It took the Operation High Jump video was the first one that kind of got some momentum. That got 50,000 views in the first day. That was crazy. But still, that was into the channel for, I don't know, 20 months, maybe longer than that. Probably longer than that. So we started this channel in 2020. So we've been here for a while. So there you go, Bohemia Bees. You've been on the screen forever. You got your plug. You know, that's when Gino and I got off Rogan, you know, we weren't on for that long because we weren't really doing anything. We weren't that funny, but we talked about our business speed very briefly, and he's like, closed it, and he's like, all right, there's your plug. Did I get it? Did you get it? You know, that was very nice of him. So there you go, Bohemia Bees. There's your plug. Everyone go follow him, and let me know if you got a little spike. Producer Steve for $10 throwing money. Just wanted to say that witch that visited you in the night is real. She tormented me with my future death and nightmares for many years of my youth. Oh, I don't want to hear that. I don't want her to be real, man. It was the scariest experience of my life. The scariest experience of my life. Before and since. I'm sorry, Steve. That sounds terrible. Z-Team Entertainment, $5. Which we've got to change up the energy a little bit. Death Scythe. I'm trying to change the energy, and Death Scythe comes up for $2. Sorry, I blew up your phone. I'm a huge fan.
Him. That was who it was. Somebody said in the chat that someone had said earlier, I'm psychic. He's just about to get a phone call. It was Death Scythe.
So, Death Scythe, you dropped into the live stream, and you got on my phone. You got on the screen. I can't help but mention you only dropped $2 in the bucket, man. I can't help but notice that you're a little light on the tipping. You know, something you want to look at, something you want to get involved with. Because look, the guy right behind you's got 20, stuffing 20 in there, but you, a deuce, blow up my phone for a deuce. Come on, man. The Mad Metropolitan for 1999. Do you listen to Peter Zeihan and Rogan? Did you? I did not, but I have him queued up. Very interesting views on geopolitics and global economic change. I have him queued up. I watched a little bit of his coverage of the coming China crisis, which is terrifying. So I watched it while I was researching this. Just kind of, that was my content floating around, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do any more just terrifying content. I couldn't. So I'll go back and watch it. When I heal from this episode, I'm still in a dark place. But $2, and you know that YouTube keeps like 50, 60% of it, right? So I get 40%, and then they take another 25% for taxes. So out of this $2, I get like 50 cents, 40 cents. You know, I can do the math. I'm not going to do the math for you because it's only $2. I'm going to keep 40 cents. If you wanted me to do math live, you got to drop $5 in there. UWU for $5. Did the shadow entity you encounter have a really long pointed nose and a dirty white ripped dress? Because the one that sat on my back did. I don't really remember either that, or I don't want to remember. I don't remember a pointy nose. I remember the kind of the witch face. I don't remember what she was wearing. Ugh, I don't remember. But what you're talking about is the common. She's called the hag. That's commonly how she's described. Often wearing a wedding dress, which is extra creepy. And yeah, she climbs on you. And weird how everyone has that kind of same thing. Like she gets on, and there are paintings, like Baroque paintings, hundreds of years ago, of this witch sitting on men while they sleep. So I guess that's just her jam. Lonnie Crook for $10 super sticker. Thanks for that. Tambra Nicole Kendall for $5. Thanks for that. I'm trying to go fast. If you could tell, because I slip into my radio voice, you know. Hey, Tambra Nicole Kendall for $5. Thanks for checking in. You're flying high on the wings of Y105. Caller lines open. Requests. Mickey Segs for $10. Hey, brother man, can you do a show on the Kazarians, aka the Name Stealers? Have you seen Fall Cabal and Rumble? I haven't. I haven't been on Rumble in a while. I wonder how soon do our videos go up there? Let's take a check. Oh, by the way, there's Bohemia Bees again. Keeping the bees. Bohemia Bees, just keeping so many bees. So Rumble. Oh, that's embarrassing. Searching my own channel in there. Okay. Yeah, so this the Y-Files. I don't think that's me. Let's see. No, that's us. Who's this guy? I guess that's us. I don't know. One of these is us. I just wanted to see how quickly our videos go up there because I haven't been on Rumble in a while. But I use Rumble for a lot of research because it's the only place that you can get certain content. Come on, man. Oh, there we go. Like if you want to search for moon landing videos about how it was fake, I mean, good luck searching YouTube for that because all the results are just debunking. But you go on Rumble and you get the good stuff. Like what I'm thinking for next week, and you guys let me know in the comments if this is interesting. We know that Apollo 17 is the last one, right? The conspiracy is that Apollo 20 went to the moon and encountered alien technology, an alien body. They did an autopsy on that. I don't know. It's a really interesting topic to me. The official word is Apollo 18, 19, and 20 were planned, but then they were canceled because of budget reasons. But the theory, the conspiracy is that was just the story and that they went. And that because of what was found with Apollo 20 is why we haven't gone back. That's interesting to me. You let me know if you guys like that. Rich Missimer for $10. 10 for bringing Hecklefish in. There we go. We like that.
Yes, wiggle it just a little bit. I say wiggle it. Thanks for the tip, human.
All right, there he goes. Wiggling it for you, Rich. Wait, hang on. What's good? All right. Chad Jordan for 270. What's going on?
No more Bob.
Okay, there she goes. Yeah, they don't know that they're coming on the screen, by the way. I just click it and there they are. And they're like, what? I'm here. And then they say, so, and there they go. Chad Jordan for $2.79 Canadian. Any plans on Bob Lazar episode? You're going to have to rewind. So the answer is maybe. If you were here since the beginning, you heard me answer that. Colonel Day for $20. Thank you, Colonel. Your avatar terrifies me. Rob 1337. I believe that's elite comment. £1.79. Grats on 1 million. Thanks. Remember when we could read chat? I remember that. Ooh, I thought I saw movement back there. I got to stop thinking about the hag because now I'm on edge. Yeah, the chat was crazy. So For this stream, I set up slow chat, which means you can only send messages spaced out by, I think, 30 seconds is what I put in there. You can put it 0 to 60 seconds. And for next time we do this, I'll just ask Victoria what number is good. So that's why you can't spam in here. I don't know if it's making a difference, but I couldn't find that type of setting for the Premiere, which would be really helpful because I can't read what's going on in there. You know, I could see the super chats, obviously. And if someone ats the Wi files, I can see that, but it's flying by. So I don't know. And by the way, if you're in the chat chatting it up, who are you watching the show? You're just chatting? Watch the show. I mean, the chat, it's cool to see a busy chat, but watch the show. Alan Bauer for $25. He always enjoys the videos. Thank you. Semper Fi, Semper, brother. Terminal Radness for $10. Love to see you cover Tom DeLonge and To the Stars. It seems like some misinformation. It seems like misinformation. It probably is, but I don't know. I don't know those topics. Remember, I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. I'm just a guy with a fish. Jim Chilton, $5. How about the Chilean UFO incident? I'm aware of that one. That would be fun to do. Put it on the tips line so I don't forget. A Dad's Life for $2. More lunar answers, please. Yeah, I love the moon stuff. That's why it constantly comes up when I'm talking to you guys. But YouTube hates the moon stuff. So I'm so scared. I'm so afraid of pissing off the algorithm because we climbed the mountain, right? We climbed the mountain to 1 million. We're here at the summit and I don't want to, I kind of want to keep it where it's at. I don't want to lose what we built. And if you look at the analytics, maybe I'll do that next time. If you guys want to see what the analytics look like behind the scenes, they fluctuate so much that the channel could be rocking for like a month that we can't even believe how fast it's growing. And then the following month, it just tanks. And there's really no reason for either of those scenarios. Not that I can see, not that any other creator can see. Like the past 3 or 4 weeks were very slow on YouTube for most creators, but not for us. We crushed it. Now we are slowing down again. So I don't know why. So to the lunar answers, I'm terrified of the algorithm still. So, but I'd love to do it. There's a lot, like if we do Apollo 20, we'll get into the moon. But what I have to do, which I haven't done, is see if YouTube is giving content warnings on that. Let's see if they are. By the way, if a great channel to follow is Bohemian Bees. I would definitely check it out. A lot of bees. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Apollo 20. Nothing. See? Nothing. Missions got canceled. There's 18. Oh, this one might be a little wacky. Let's check this out. Yeah. No. All right. But you see what I'm talking about? There we go. I had to scroll a while to get down there, but this is what I'm talking. Oh man, I got to get premium on this computer.
Without lifting a finger, I literally did not spend a second.
I got to get
the
premium.
Summer of 1969 was an eventful one.
All right, let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about.
Saran was convicted of murdering New York Senator Robert F. Kennedy. The last episode of Star Trek aired. The Beatles snatched the top song on Billboard.
All right, I can't find it. This video looks like it's kind of junky. No offense if you made this video, but this is what I'm talking about right here. Context warning. So that terrifies me. Dad's Life. So I want to do it, but yeah, I'm afraid of the algorithm. I really am. Rec Thoughts. I'm going to do it anyway. Rec Thoughts, $5. Binging your channel. Good. We love binging. I recently discovered, love it. Got to admit, I keep getting short film ideas to write from these stories. Well, write them, man. Bust out the final draft. Write it up. Randy Ross for $2. Sir James Ross first, second, Find Mag North, then Antarctica. I don't know. Is that an anagram? If I rearrange those letters, is there a message there? And I see Victoria and Jen, they're both doing this. So you've got us all confused, man. Oh,
Is anybody getting this?
no, I'm not seeing it. Luna Love. Now, is that a moon or a banana? I know it's a moon. I know what Luna means. I mean, doesn't everybody speak a little Latin? Do you think you can start making videos more often? No, I can't do that right now. I can barely keep up with the production schedule that we have now. I could barely do it. So tonight's video was finished last night around, I don't know, 11 p.m. And I had started working, I don't know, 8, 9 in the morning. Finished around 11 p.m., chugging along, didn't get up from my desk. Except a couple of times, I gotta loosen up the prostate. You guys over 40, dig me. 11 p.m. finished the video. And then there's about, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours of post-video admin work to do. Like the thumbnail has to get done. And it takes a while to get the thumbnail right. It takes longer than you think. And Bohemian Bees, by the way, the thumbnail is more important than you think. Get those thumbnails right. So I finished all of it around, I don't know, 1 or 2 a.m. And then the next step is I got to upload it to Patreon and to other places. Speaking of Patreon, as a Patreon member, you can see Jen's. What are you laughing at? You're laughing at the plugs?
Yes.
Speaking of Patreon, Patreon members do get to see videos early. Now, I have been behind lately. I'll admit that. But this video went up on Patreon late last night, early this morning. So you get to see the videos early without commercials and all of that. Go to the Y-Files Patreon. You can be a member for as little as $3 a month, and you can support your favorite YouTube channel that way. And Patreon, the Patreon revenue, we get to keep most of that, as opposed to here in the YouTube chat. But Luna Love, what I'm trying to do is bring some writers on that can kind of help lighten the load a little bit. So, by the way, if you're a writer or know a writer, go to theyfiles.com and click the jobs link. I had this posted in the community tab. I took it down because we were getting a lot of less than awesome applications. And for some of them, so for some of the positions, you can upload a photo. And you don't have to, but you can. And some of the photos we're getting are very strange, some inappropriate. And look, some men might hire you off that photo, lady, but you're barking up the wrong tree here. You know what I'm talking about? You ladies know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So if you know writers, you're a writer. You could submit an application at the jobs link for money. And we need the help. But be a writer. If you're an aspiring writer, that's cool, but you got to be good. Brad Bailey, $5. What about a show on the DMT entities? DMT is another one that's risky on YouTube because it's an illegal drug. So not only do we end up with a context warning, we end up with a limited monetization warning for promoting drug use, even though you're not really promoting the use of DMT. But if you're over 21, explore your consciousness. But so I don't know if I could do that without having the video get crushed. But going back to Luna Love and getting some help in here, if I can get a few videos ahead, the plan is to do shorter, kind of more mainstream sciencey videos on Mondays, and then the Y-Files weirder stuff on Thursdays, and do more things with the Patreons, jump in the Discord more, and do a couple of other creative things that I have kicking around in my noodle. But I'm going to need help to do that. So that's what.
And hang out with your wife, maybe.
Yeah, I've been at the studio for 3 days. I haven't seen her. This is the first I've seen her.
First time I've seen you since Tuesday.
Yeah, and I hate the way I look on the live streams because it's the day after producing a video, so I'm just so spent, and then I don't look great because I don't have the makeup or the filter on, and then Jen's mother is going to give me crap about it, and that's not nice. But Bonnie, if you're watching, I'm doing the best I can. Mark, for $10, do you feel like there's an underlying thread or connecting element among some of these topics? That's an intriguing question. I don't know if you've spotted one. You could let me know. If there's a thread, a connecting element that's causing me to pick certain topics, I'm not aware of it. But I dig psychology, and I always love when someone explains something to me about my actions or activities or my thoughts that I didn't think of. So if I'm subconsciously creating a thread, I'd like to know that. That would be fun. But it's not intentional if there is. There's a Nikolai for $1.99 super sticker. Thanks, Nikolai. Coleman for $49.99.
And Yahtzee! Thanks for supporting the channel, human.
He loves the videos. Thanks, Coleman. I appreciate it. That's a very generous tip, and it's really helpful. Some people will call my phone and then only leave $2. You won't call me, and you put $50 in the bucket. Now that's what we're talking about. Kyle Martin, I think you're in Albuquerque. $5. Socorro, New Mexico alien landing. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of New Mexico vibes from your message. Put that in the tips line because I don't think I know that one. Sounds familiar. I don't know if I know that one. I don't know if you're spelling that right. I'm going through the files in my brain. Kyle Brandon, $5. Have you ever done the Skinwalker Ranch? If not, will you? I have avoided that one because it's covered so much. The same thing with Bob Lazar. So if I can't bring anything new, I don't want to do that because, I have to bring value. So if it's just the same old stuff, otherwise it's the same story, but there's a fish talking. I don't know if that's enough. Plus, I can debunk a lot of Skinwalker, which I think will annoy some people because that Skinwalker has fans. But if that's something you really want to see, do it in the tips line. Because I'm on the fence with that one, leaning to no, because it's so much on it. But if you really want to see a Y-Files take on it, then we'll do it. Scroll subtlety, there's no tips, so this indicates something interesting. AJ, your production value is insane for Y-Files. How many are in your organization? Everybody on the screen right now is the whole team. But Jen, about a couple of months ago, came on full time, so she's helping. Victoria is our senior mod. She's amazing, and they're working really hard. Gino my brother is handling customer service, which has allowed me to focus more on the production. But the research, the writing, and the editing that's all me. And I'm glad that you like it. Whenever I get a compliment on the edit, I'm super excited because a lot of people don't notice that and how much work goes into it. So in the trailer, I said, put on headphones because I spent hours of the video doing sound design, like you're finding the right sound for a tidal wave, or just if you look at the B-roll of Antarctica, it's silent. The B-roll, there's no sound track on the B-roll, so that I put all that in there. There's wind howling through the mountains. There's a subtle sound of water because there's some icebergs in the middle, and then when the glacier falls in the distance, there's a little bit of a splash. So I'm super proud of that. But most people are just watching on their phone. They don't get any of that. So I appreciate that scroll subtlety that you notice that. If things go well, I'll have help with research, with writing, and with editing. But we'll make sure to keep the production value up. And go back and watch the earlier, like the super earlier Y-Files videos. We came a long way. Biggie Double G for $1.99. Connie Cantu, $10, was just looking up the big one. When is it coming? I live in Oregon. Well, the big one meaning the earthquake? That could be any time now. And Oregon is definitely in a danger zone because most of your state was created by the last glacier and by seismic activity. I'm trying to think of, I think it's Portland that's built on a glacial delta. I'm pretty sure that's Portland. So your state has a history of cataclysms. So if we have another one, it's coming right down Broadway, baby. Row car for $30.99 Australian. That's a weird number, but I don't mind. It's very generous. The Westall UFO sighting. Yeah, someone else requested that. If there's good visuals, I'll do it because I don't think I was familiar with that one before. Crusader, thank you for the $2 and thank you for not calling my phone. Juan for $5. Can we expect a Skinwalker Ranch analysis? Finally, yeah, maybe. Craig Domier for $4.20. Keep it cloudy. Gino's ear merch. Like what? Like a picture of his ear on a mug, or
Yeah.
like a silicone rubber ear?
Oh, that's creepy. But yeah, that's
Gino
funny.
Gino ear plushie.
No. Actually,
like
I
that?
love that. I love that
Oh,
idea.
no one who gets it.
Look how beautiful she looks tonight, right? Look how
Aw,
pretty she is.
Thank you.
And I think so. And if your mom is watching, make sure she knows how pretty you are. There's Lonnie Romero for $1. Thanks, Lonnie. And I love your avatar. Is that you just gazing, like you're on your pillow, gazing longingly into your phone? It's very sensual, Lonnie. It's really, really very sensual. I'm going to keep it up there for a minute. Everybody look at Lonnie. Look at those bedroom eyes. Thanks, Lonnie. I appreciate that. Crystal, I probably shouldn't joke like that because Reddit already thinks I'm a gay man. It's fine if you're a gay man. I don't happen to be a gay man, but Reddit believes I'm a gay man.
I just got a text from Bonnie. She's watching with my dad, and she says we both look fabulous tonight and that she loves us both.
Well, I don't look that great, so we know that she's lying.
She's not lying.
But that's fine. She lies.
Hi, Bonnie and Jerry.
Yeah, so Reddit thinks I'm gay, and the way that he said it in the subreddit is it was very tricky. He's a fan of the show, but he's very upset that that I'm obviously gay, and then I keep referencing this wife, which is obviously fake, and he's really bothered by it. And then fans of the show jumped in there and they said, first of all, like, why does it matter? Because why does it matter? And second, another guy said, no, he does have a wife. I've seen her on the live stream. His response to that is something like, well, she doesn't know, he's secretly on Grindr every night. And he went on to explain his tortured teen years or whatever. And the thing is, how do I even respond to that? I did respond to it. I just said checkmate, because if I say I'm not gay, he'll say, well, that's, what you want to say. Or if I say I am gay, then I'll get even weirder emails. So, what am I going to do? I'm totally checkmated by the gay comment.
Yep, I couldn't even go on there because he's like, all of her girlfriends tell her that he's just artistic and all this stuff. So if I had said, I'm his wife, he's not gay, they would be like, well, of course you would say that. Crazy.
I don't know. I guess I read a little bit gay. I don't know. It's fine. I have soft features. I have these boyish hips. Crystal Metherson for $4.99. Love your channel. This might be the best episode. Yeah, I thought it was good, Crystal. Thank you for the compliment. And it came together last minute. It was a little clunky because the source material was clunky, but it came together. Jeremy Jeremy D for $5. I would like to have you on my podcast. You make appearances. It depends on the podcast, Jeremy, but probably not. If your subject matter is UFOs and paranormal and conspiracies, I'm not going to be that entertaining. There's a podcast I'm thinking of doing where they help YouTubers grow their channel and they want to ask me what I did. That I think that's useful because I have stuff to say about that. I think I can bring value to that conversation, but it really depends on, what you're talking about. And it has to be a real podcast, Jeremy. Okay. Because I have quite a few requests from people. They want me on the podcast, and then I go to or they want me on their YouTube channel. I go to their channel, and there's 5 subscribers. There's like 2 views. They clearly don't take it that seriously. And then you come on for 3 hours or however long. I want to bring value to your audience. So please have an audience. Mike Roberts for $5. If a solar storm destroyed the power grid worldwide during shift, so you think humanity would end due to the ensuing chaos? No, humanity would not end, Mike. Is that your boy there in the avatar? He's adorable. The world would not end, but it would be like Walking Dead, without the zombies. It would be the world would be Thunderdome. It would be bad if the grid went down for months. Ironically, the least developed nations would fare the best because they're totally prepared for it. But can you imagine, Gen Z without their phone? They wouldn't know what to do. They would starve to death because no Uber Eats. They wouldn't know how to get anywhere. At least, Gen X and older, we will figure it out. But it would be bad. It would be people scrambling for resources. Our government would have a very hard time wrangling everybody because we got guns. So, it would be very, very difficult. I hope that people are taking it seriously. The people in charge are taking it seriously. I don't think they are, but I could be wrong. I want to be wrong. I didn't think that NASA was taking the asteroid threat very seriously, but they went out there and they blew up an asteroid, and I couldn't have been more thrilled by that. So maybe there's a program to harden the satellites. Now, what I've read is if the solar activity gets really intense, you can just power down the satellites and put it in low power mode to protect it. I think that's probably fine when the magnetic field is fine. But if our protection gets severely reduced, I don't know if that's enough. I think those motherboards, they get fried, and the PCBs definitely get fried. And without the protection, all that stuff happens down here. So it's not just like the power going out, it's electronics just getting fried and very quickly. And if you're an electrical engineer, I'm sorry, but how it gets fried is all the solar activity, it brings particles. It brings protons, electrons, all that stuff. And all those particles go into the technology. They go into the motherboard. So we would have capacitors and transistors kind of like controlling the flow of the electrons and, throttling them, or how that works. All that goes away and the motherboards just get flooded with electrons, and then boom. So if that happens, it's a long way back. And I've read that America could go down for like 3 or 4 weeks. That would be bad. So no, humanity wouldn't end, but only the strong will survive and the prepared. Paula Hillier for $20 Canadian. Could you please do an episode about the Nephilim Giants and Göbekli Tepe? Thank you for all your hard work. Love from Canada.
Yes, thank you, human. You know the deal.
Yeah. So put that in the tips line, although I have a lot of requests for that. Göbekli Tepe is one I haven't really specifically done because it's been covered a lot. And I don't know if there's anything new I can really bring there. I wanted to talk about it in this video tonight a little bit, in fact, because it made sense, because with Göbekli Tepe being so old, it was here before the last flood. But I left it out. I figured I had enough. It was also getting late. So if I could find something, I will do that. The Giants, we're working on that now. The Nephilim Giants would be really interesting. I like that. Aesthetic Blur, $5. Have you heard of the Christopher Cross case? When you get caught between the moon and New York City? Oh, not that Christopher Cross, right. He died swearing a witch was coming to kill him, died of unknown causes. No, I wasn't aware of that. But it's so funny that you put not that Christopher Cross, because I'm reading it. I read it linearly. So as I see Christopher, I'm singing it in my head right now. So that was funny that you put that in there. Mark G for $19.99. The QSL and AMSAT cards in the background suggest you're ham. Yes. 73KD8VOW. I'm not yet. I haven't taken my certification. I haven't taken the test yet. It's something I want to do. I just haven't had time. But that's coming soon, Mark, because just as homage to Art Bell, I've got to get my QSL. Rick Owen, $20. Suspicious observers. Yep. Includes an Earth disaster playlist, which gets into the details of this crustal displacement theory unlocked by a solar micronova, alternately rotating the crust 90 degrees every 12,000 years. Yeah, that's on there. Now, remember I said that there's ice core samples from Antarctica that show that at least the eastern part of that continent has been there for at least 1.5 million years. Now, maybe they're lying, maybe it's wrong, but the ice core samples say it's been there. Now, the western part of the continent maybe wasn't covered with ice. The Piri-Reis map is an example of how that could possibly be so. I know the playlist you're talking about. I know the videos you're talking about. I don't know how strong the science is. Now, the poles being affected by solar activity, that makes sense to me. The micronova displacing the crust, that's tricky. That's pretty tricky. But if the solar activity is strong enough to displace the crust on the planet, I don't think it matters how it works because we're going to be gone. But that channel keeps coming up. If you're into scary stuff like tonight, then check out that YouTube channel. Or go instead for something a little more upbeat. Bohemian Bees is a great YouTube channel. He keeps bees. Keeps them. Babylonia Rising, $10. The world needs a Hecklefish source book for...
This human right here, this human gets it.
Yeah, he likes it. Open D&D. Show us your stat book, Lord Finns. Love it. That's my fault. Let's talk about it for $10. The polar magnetic field affects the ionosphere. That's true. If the magnetic field flips at the same time as the solar flare hits, that could be catastrophic. Maybe LOL thoughts. Yes, I talked at length about that just a minute ago, but yes, it would be catastrophic if that happened. The ozone would be just gone. But it's happened 1,000 times. So we know that the Earth is okay. And I looked into it. There have been no mass die-offs, no extinction events that line up with the polar flips. We know when the flips happen, we know when mass die-offs happen, and they don't coincide. But it's really hard to tell. And there was no technology. So even if the flipping of the poles doesn't affect us physically or doesn't affect, animals or the environment or none of that, just the effect it has on technology is devastating. Invest in sunscreen, David Ford says right there for $20. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, if that happens, the amount of cancer on the planet is going to be bananas, especially melanoma, but cancer rates would go crazy. Big E Double G is back for another $4.99. I know you won't do videos about Bigfoot and similar things, but a thing called the Goat Man, and he is very real. I'll submit it to the tips line. I love the cryptid fans that say, no, I know those aren't real, but the Goat Man, that's legit. Bigfoot, not so much, but the half man, half goat, that's legit. Why? Because he's in Shakespeare and ancient Greek tragedies. I know what you're saying. He could be real. I would like to hang on. I'm being flagged.
You've already done a bunch of research on the Goat Man, right? The footprints in the snow on the rooftops. Isn't this one of the ones that you did research on?
Oh, I don't know if that's what he's talking about. The hooves, the demon that runs up over the house. I think I stopped doing that one because it was so blatantly fake. Like
somebody just said Goat Man is a demon. So yeah, I guess it's the same.
If it's the one that leaves the house in the snow and his footprints are in the snow and somehow he walks over the house, it's pretty fake. And I would have still done the story because the best ones to do are the ones that have a debunking segment. And look, if you're a fan of the Goat Man and you're screaming at the screen that he's real, that's cool. I could be wrong about the Goat Man. I'm looking at the viewers right now. We have a chance to hit 10,000 live for some reason. So look, if you're into Goat Man and you say he's real, that's cool. Even though I'm an open-minded skeptic, I stress open-minded. So like, I don't believe in ghosts, which people hate that about me. But if suddenly there was scientific evidence of ghosts, I'd be like, well, yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that that's there. Or if I'm in the studio now and I saw a ghost, I wouldn't be that surprised. Like that's how close I am. As like I'm a skeptic but I can be tilted real quick. So with cryptids, I need to see pictures of them. I have never seen a picture of the goat man. And the main reason I didn't do that story is because the hoof prints, the legend it's told so eloquently and it's so scary that these cloven hoof prints that lead out the house and across the field and somehow they jump on a roof. But the thing is that the hoof prints are about 2 inches big. So it's just a teeny little demon. Just a teeny demon. So I don't really want to do the story because he's just a little. There she is. There she is with the teeny demon fingers.
Teeny demon feet. You just hit 10,000, and somebody said that Spring-Heeled Jack or the Jersey Devil was what you were talking about. And now I'm going to make my last call for only because you're at about 450 starred super chats, and I want to make sure that you get to the ones that are there. So at 8:20, well, in 5 minutes, whatever time it is where you are, in 5 minutes, just he's only going to get to the ones that come in the next 5 minutes. So we so appreciate the super chats, and our fans are awesome, and we love you all, but he's not going to read any after the ones that come in the next 5 minutes. So.
She was kind of aggressive with that, wasn't she? She's kind of a little bitchy with that last call. I'm just saying, little bitchy. Bi-curious Russian army general. We need to talk about lizard people. We need to talk about the exploration of your sexuality, General. Love that username. I don't know what the avatar is. You know, with that username, Bi-curious Russian army general, I would have expected to see something different in the avatar. I would, maybe like, I don't know, olive green chaps with a red star, something sexier, chest hair. Scott Genties for $5 Canadian. Serial effect generator episode, please. Okay.
Great idea. Send it in.
Send us to the tips line. Sean, hey, can we please get a full episode on the Anunnaki? A couple of things, Sean. Is that you in the avatar? Is that a kick in your neck? Or are you just looking sideways? Trying to figure it out. Where are my glasses? I don't know where they are. Let's get a look at you. Oh no, you're just kind of chilling sideways. So Anunnaki, a couple of things. One, it's been covered so much for so long. I don't know what else I could bring that's new. But I mean, I've mentioned the Anunnaki in quite a few episodes. Hecklefish gets excited about Anunnaki. I've talked about the Anunnaki gods a few times, but also you end up with a context warning on YouTube with Anunnaki, which is so annoying because we know, those of us watching tonight, we know what Anunnaki is, but nobody else knows what Anunnaki is. Go to a diner and ask around. Go table to table asking if they know what Anunnaki is. And if you do that, have someone record it because I'd love to see how that goes. But if I can come up with something new with the Anunnaki, I will. But whenever it comes up tangentially, I always bring it in. I won't let you down. Lindsay Scala for $10. Look at that smiling face. Take a look. There she goes. Daniel Bonner, or is that Boner? No, that's two N's. Daniel Bonner for $20. What's your opinion on the World Economic Forum? Oh, I've got thoughts. Great Reset, Klaus Schwab, etc. I can send something to tips on it. Send something to tips just so I know that you want it. I have a lot of thoughts on the WEF, the Great Reset, all of that stuff. I have to be careful with YouTube because these topics become very BitChute rumbly real fast. So I gotta be careful with it. I keep it grounded. But let me tell you this, between us, just me and you, right? Just you and I talking. The crazy, like the conspiracy that you believe about the WEF, and I believe the same thing. I believe it. Not skeptical about that. Not skeptical about it. I don't know how to cover it. safely. Richard Little Alien again is back for $20. What going update with Patreon? Any news? Thanks. What I like about you, Richard, is you express yourself with very few words. You don't even need indefinite articles. You don't need those. You don't need any conjunctions. I don't see those in there. No, it's badass. I dig it. So, update with Patreon. Nothing really updated, but I would encourage you to go check out Patreon. You know, if you want to support your favorite YouTube channel, you could support for as little as $3 a month, and most of that revenue does go toward the channel. And there's multiple levels on there. You get your own, get your own icon in Discord, and definitely check out the Discord. You get access to early episodes when I can get to them in time. At the higher levels, I don't know if you guys know this, and I really don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The higher levels on Patreon, once a year, you get a Hecklefish will record a message for you. He'll do a message. And for a black belt level, once a year, he'll do a video for you. It's a short video. We keep it short, but he'll do that for you. And he's done quite a few. There was one Wi-Fi fan who was dying. I hate to bring it down, but he was dying, and his family got in touch with me and asked for a Hecklefish video because he was such a fan of the show, and he passed away just about a week ago. But we got right on that for him. So yeah, the higher levels of Patreon, you get some of those little nuggets, and there's more coming as we get more help in here, and I have access, and I have time to do stuff. I have a lot of ideas for y'all. Like Patreon, what I'd like to do, and it may even be on the Patreon page that I'm supposed to do, is a weekly Zoom meeting with the members, so we can all kind of talk. Instead of doing it like this and taking 4 hours, we could bang out these questions in a solid 40. Craft 75 for $27.99 Canadian. Why are the numbers weird? Like why isn't it $28? Why did someone put in $30.99? That was a weird number. Like, I know why you put in $4.20. And the guy who called my phone, I know why you put in $2 because you're cheap. But otherwise, what are the numbers for? Why are they so weird? Hey, the Y-Files, love your content. I got on board around April. Welcome aboard. A peak, as you mentioned in your recent video. I love your fresh takes on old stories. I love your banter with Hecklefish. He's cool. You guys rock. Well, thank you for that. It's very nice of you to say.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And welcome aboard. Angel or Angel, have no fear. The pole shift is coming. Remember, we live on forever, just maybe not here. That's wise words. And you know what? I hope that Angel is right. I don't know if she is, but I really hope she is. That's Gigi with a $20 super sticker. There she is. Victor, $5. Only time I missed a premiere is because YouTube closing on me a lot makes me miss the start of the Q&A. I can't stick around because CR starts at 10 FFT heart. You know what he's talking?
Yeah, I don't know. Seems a bit fishy to me.
I see what you did there. Yeah, the YouTube crashes on the premieres all the time. I don't know why, but consider it a rite of passage for being a part of the channel. We're in this together. Scroll subtly is back for another $1.99. Hey, Scroll. Keith Merrill, $20. Very generous of you for not having a question. That just goes right in the G string. I appreciate that. Jeff Niekamp or Kneecamp for $10. Thank you. I'd love to see a show covering Stephen Greer and the CE5 contact method. Recently joined and watched every show in 3 days. That's awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Stephen Greer, what would you like to see on him? Like a biography on the guy? I think he's just a small town doctor from Virginia. You'd have to tell me what you'd like me to cover. I'm a fan of his work. I don't buy into a lot of it, but I buy into some of it. And I'm glad he's out there. The Disclosure Project is important. But if there's something specific you'd like to learn about Stephen Greer, put it on the tips line. And maybe there's something going on with him I'm not aware of. I'd like to learn about that. Hacksaw for $1.99. How about a show on the pineal gland and DMT? I talked about that earlier. DMT is tricky because of YouTube promoting illegal drug use. But the pineal gland is, I bet I can get away with that if I stay away from if I keep the DMT light. And I'd have to call my rep and make sure that it's cool. But I think I can get away with the pineal gland. That would be super interesting. Talk about the calcification of the gland and the decalcification, how that works out. If you're not familiar with the pineal gland, read into that. It's super fun. DS the RN, $49.99.
Ooh, mamacita. Thanks for the tip, human.
Congratulations. You deserve all the success. Long live Hecklefish. Thanks, RN. I appreciate that. Yeah, reaching 1 million subscribers was highly unlikely. Jason Sigler for $10. Super sticker. Thanks, Jason. Robert Prather. Good to see you back. $10. Great episode. I totally believe in these past civilizations. How far behind is archaeology really? All these ideas make sense. They make sense to me too. Even as a skeptic, you know, if the cataclysms happen, even, you know, not like Chan Thomas, just severe ones, just kind of like what, like Randall Carlson and Graham talk about. If they're severe enough, there really wouldn't be any evidence left. And I think that's what's intriguing, is how do we really know? Because if the cataclysm was seismic in nature, there really wouldn't be any evidence, because the earth would just kind of churn and everything would get buried. It would just be gone. There wouldn't even be artifacts. They would just melt into the rock. So I don't know. I can't help but wonder, but it's a fascinating theory. And I'm definitely open to that idea. It seems to make more sense than we're first, actually. Chaotic Coder, $10. Have you ever considered compiling all of the various stories with detailed citations into a book? Also, the private call is the CIA. It wasn't CIA. But citations into a book, I don't know. I mean, if that's something that you think people would like to buy. But, most of the episodes, I'll put sources in the description. So if you want to learn more, I mean, I don't put every little thing in there, but I don't find information in a special way. You know, I use the search engines just like you do. You know, I just go to the same places that you can go. I just do it for a lot of hours, but so I don't know how useful if a book would be, if that would be valuable, just putting the research in a book. Maybe Hecklefish One-Liners would be a good book, good coffee table book. Bobby Beef, $19.99. Tell Hecklefish to keep up the good work. All right.
I like it. I like it a lot.
He likes it. K9 Raven for $20. Thanks, K9. Eric M, $10. Have you considered doing an episode about the pre-Adamites? I don't know what those are. Not an expert. I'm just a guy who talks to a fish. But put that in the tips line. Leave me some links, and I'll definitely look into that. Judd Mang 1. $10. Awesome video. I wonder if this has anything to do with the great fires that covered the globe, Younger Dryas. Think you'll be doing any follow-ups on other videos? Maybe. Follow up on other videos that have to be something new. The Great Fires is interesting. I haven't covered that yet. I've seen more and more evidence of that. And boy, if the pole shifts, we could see some fires down here. Don and Cindy Hone for $10. Thanks for the channel. Please give a shout out to Urethra. What is that? That's not urethra. That's something else. Erythrina Music on YouTube channel. Erythrina Music. Let's see what that's about. All right. Erythrina Music. Assuming that's you. All right. Cool. You got owls. Owls are cool. Let's see what you got. Let's try a different one. That's The Inventor and the Infernal Machine. Well, there's music for everyone. There's music for everyone. But hey, Don and Cindy Hone, thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. I can't understand sharing a username, sharing an account with the wife. I really don't want to see her search history. And Lord knows she does not want to see mine. Ryan Wallace for $5 broke, but I wanted to give something. And to say a horse walked into a bar, bartender asks why the long face. That's a classic. And I think I stumbled over the punchline. A horse walks into the bar. Bartender asks, hey, why the long face? So, and I appreciate the tip and being broke, Ryan. That's really nice of you. And look, if money's tight, don't super chat. Don't super whatever. If money's tight, do not do it. Don't do it. Fortune Cookies Tarot by Annabelle. That's scary. It just sounds scary. More than I think about it, maybe it's not so scary. What is Hecklefish's ringtone? That's a great question. I don't know. Maybe that guy in the chat can call him and we'll find out. Geno's 2600 for $20. Just noticed as I sit outside smoking, watching that I'm wearing my tinfoil shirt. Awesome. Thanks for keeping me entertained and for the moon recommendation. Good content's hard to find. You're welcome, Genos. That's cool that you're wearing that tinfoil shirt. Take a selfie of you wearing that shirt and send it to thewildfiles.com in the wild. I'll show you what those look like. Where are we? Where are we? Look at them. Look at them all. So if you have a cool picture with the merch, the gear, send it in. Show it off. Moto Bum for $2. Would you add scary stories to your channel? Maybe. It really depends what you mean by scary. Tonight's was scary to me. If you mean just straight horror, then no, that's not really what we do. Would you consider the when I covered the Warrens and their cases, would you consider those scary because it was ghosts and demons and stuff? Those types of things I would do, but straight horror, no, I wouldn't do. When the What Files launches, then you might see some true crime stuff on there that's pretty scary, but straight horror, no, we wouldn't do that. I'm not that into horror movies. I don't watch them. Not that into horror, and we have a lot of kids that watch. Robert Earl 999. Thanks, Robert. Sean, he's back with the crooked head. Hey, is there any way you can give my wife a shout out for her birthday? She loves you in Hecklefish, and her name is Rachel Renee. Rachel, he's talking about you on the internet. Rachel, he's talking about you. Yeah, she's not there, is she, Sean? Well, there you go. There's your shout out. Ronan ATX for $10. Yes, you did Adam and Eve story. Was it just a coincidence, or did my super chat recommendation stick from a few weeks back? It's all you. It's all you, Ronan. This is some guy for a $2 super sticker. I appreciate it. Lou Stellabot for $3 super sticker. Thanks, Lou. Brian Keck, $4.99. The simulation is best. This simulation is the best simulation. Eyes open, no fear. Hey, that's great attitude. I think there might be some simulations that are a little better than ours, but ours is pretty good. Trip Lives for $10. Of course, the CIA knows about the end of the world. They planned it. George and Klaus over beers. Scroll subtly for another $5. Scroll, what? You're just throwing money even without comments or questions. It's fine. Jules is back for $5. The Challenger space shuttle explosion has a conspiracy behind it, with Teacher to Space just saying thanks for the entertainment. So what he's talking about is really interesting, but YouTube doesn't like it. There are photos floating around of the Challenger crew today saying that they didn't die in the accident, which was when, 1983? That they didn't die then, that it was a cover-up and they're alive today. And the pictures are fascinating. I will try to find them, but it's hard to find because Google throttles that. They shadow ban that. Challenger crew still alive. I'm just going to look for the images. I know that you're not on the screen. That's intentional. Just give me a sec. Okay, that could be one. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right. All right, I'm going to see if I can get that in my browser, because that's just poor. Okay. So what this is showing is Challenger crew today. Some of them are crazy. Like some of them are, well, this is his twin brother. So that, you know, that down here, this is his twin brother, but they have the same names. I got to be careful because YouTube hates this conspiracy. I love it. I went down this rabbit hole for a long time. There's Chrissy McAuliffe. There's the teacher. I can't really read it on the picture, but her name was Chrissy McAuliffe. The picture is a woman, looks just like her, and her name is something like Christine McAuliffe, and she's also a teacher from the same state. So it's just crazy stuff like that. Did you see that huge yawn? See Victoria drop that huge yawn? Huge. She went like, it was like a bear coming back from hibernation.
She's been working. She's been working with me since 8 o'clock this morning. So.
Oh, had a long day, did you? All right. So where were we? Quantum Sledgehammer for $20. Appreciate that. Tonight's episode was great. Is it wrong that I keep finding myself agreeing with Hecklefish? No, he's right about a lot of stuff, especially climate change. Phil Parker, 1999. Hi, AJ. My wife Maria and I love your show. We would rather watch it than most movies. Hey, that's very nice of you to say. Is that you, Phil? Were you on a boat? Playing air guitar? Phil Parker is playing air guitar in a boat. That's cool. Lane Sfakis, are you missing vowels in your name? $10. Well, I wanted to apply for the volunteer researcher position using the Headless Men of Nahanni Valley mystery for the app submission, but I doubt I'd get picked, but I'd love to see you do a video on it. Well, Lane, send that in the tips line and we'll look at that. I forget what we're asking for in the researcher position. To be a researcher, you don't have to go crazy. You just have to show that you're organized and thorough. You don't have to be as thorough as maybe I would be, but enough to get a nice research package together that can be handed off to a writer. So the writer only would have to do limited follow-up research. But we're looking for help. But the way to get the position is to be organized, is to be on time, is to be thorough. B for $4.99. Hope you covered the story of Don Henry and Kevin Ives, two boys that were found dead on some train tracks in Arkansas. Government cover-up. Well, in my mind, anyone who's ever found dead in Arkansas, you have to look for it. That's clearly the Clintons. But it's hard to do death stories on YouTube because they won't like that. And how could Hecklefish not make a Clinton comment? How could you not? Scroll Subtlety's back. Hey, AJ, big fan. I wanted to ask you what your team looks like. You want to know what my team looks like? There you go. The production value is insane. Really gives prudence to why your channel has gained so many fans. So quickly, designer in like your work. Thanks, Scroll. I appreciate that. Rob Stanley for $9.99. And look, Victoria, if you don't want to go on camera, you don't have to keep your camera on. Because if it's blank, then I won't put you on there. But if I see your face, then 10,000 other people will see it too. Sean, is there any way you can give your #1 biggest fan, Rachel Renee, a shout out for her birthday, man? Please, she loves you and Hecklefish. I already did that, Sean. And now she just got another one. You owe me. You owe me big. Young Kingsley, $2. Have you found an editor already? Still looking. I haven't even gone through the applications yet. What will happen is probably Jen and Victoria will go through those first just to weed out the, who we're talking about. And then I will look at those later. But editors, you need to have, Young Kingsley, you need to have a reel. If you don't have a reel right now, it's probably not going to work, because if you're a professional editor, you have a reel. So you need to have a reel. You need to be an editor that does this for a living, for money. Because we're going to pay you, and we're going to pay you well to edit, but you got to be really good, and you have to, it's got to look like Y-Files. So if that's you, send it in, man. I'd like to bring 2 or 3 editors on. I Spy 23 for $10. Project Red Sun, maybe? The Secret Man mission to Mars in the 70s. That's a great one. Put it in the tips line so I don't forget, but that's a great story. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. MJD Performance, $51.
Ugh, thank you, human. I'm getting killed on alimony and guppy support payments over here.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Let's start a donation war. Keep it up. Love the show. Go for it. Love a donation war. Sam Richardson, the big S, for $10. Check out Thresholds of Reality. We do interviews about weird and paranormal. Our last one was about near-death experiences. I will check that out, Sam. And you can email me to remind me. The channel has, 1.1 million subscribers, something like that. There's 10,000 people in the live stream, which is great. I get a surprisingly little amount of email. So maybe that'll change now that I'm saying that. But seriously, if you email me, I read it. I may not respond to everyone right away, but I read them. And I don't get that many emails. Brian, and I'm not complaining. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm just saying, if you want to email me, that's cool. Brian A. Rez, $10. Excellent work. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate the support. Paul Miner, 1999. Read 70s book, The Had Theory, Repole Shifts. I love when people give me homework. But Paul, you could put that in the tips line to make me remember if there's more, but it's really is if there's another story there. But otherwise, I wouldn't cover pole shifts again. It's very often, and I'm not calling you out, Paul. It's awesome of you to donate, and I'll actually hide your name so you don't feel like I'm calling you out. But if I do a episode on, I don't know, let's say Green Children of Woolpit, you remember that one, I will suddenly get flooded with suggestions and links and books for Green Children of Woolpit that I should look into. But I already did this. I already did the story. So if you're sharing it with me because you think I would enjoy reading it, that's cool. But if it's just more information for the story, I already did this story. It's over. The time has passed. We have to move on. Matt, for $10 Canadian, dropping this into the tip box for a video topic, especially after this episode. You should look into the Aura Linda book. I don't know this one. From a manuscript from the 13th century. I don't know this one at all. Matt, send that in the tips line. I love a creepy, mysterious book. Voynich manuscript. That was the big Y-Files video for a long, long time. Remember that, Jen? It would get like 50, 60 views a day. That was for a long time. That was a big video. It is a good video, but it gets a lot of hate. It gets a ton of hate because I debunk everybody who's given a suggestion. And there's a father-son team. I think they're Turkish, that are kind of famous for claiming that they've translated something like 80% of the Voynich manuscript. And people they were just all over the comments with this father-son team, but it's been debunked as pseudoscience. So Voynich manuscript lives on as a mystery. Fascinating. Like I'm holding back wanting to talk about it right now. Thomas Mitchell for $5 Australian. Friend of mine has paranormal experiences. He suffered from sleep paralysis and woke up with an orb of light at the end of his bed. Thoughts? I don't know, man. It's, when I had the witch on my belly, I would have traded that I would have taken the orb of light. That would have been fine. So I don't know what that is. So I don't have any thoughts on that. Ask him if he drinks. Carolyn Isern, $10. Thanks, Carolyn. And there she is in her avatar. Look at the smiling face. There she goes. AE Trex, $50.
Yes, my dressing room is getting an upgrade. I'm thinking I need a leather sofa, silk pillows, and a live-in masseuse.
But hold on. People walking around back there, and there's dogs and all kinds of activity. It's late, but all kinds of action back there. I don't know who that was. I hope they live there. So thank you for your work. I love the way you present these stories. Reincarnation honestly freaks me out because the evidence is disturbing, but I loved your video on it. I think you're talking about the Dorothy Eady video. I agree that near-death experience video would be great. Yeah, I think that's coming soon. In fact, we're looking at a couple of writers right now. I probably shouldn't say it, but it's just us. And near-death experiences and a couple of, and yeah, I think it was near-death experiences. Maybe it was the skull experiments. That was on my list as an assignment for the new writers. So Atrix, however you say it, I think that's coming. Is that you in your avatar? There she is. Jamshed KH, $20. Thanks, Jamshed. Jamshed. Dan Gerch. Oh, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. What is that? What teacher ever got that right the first time? Dan Gerchkovich. And I see them down there in the window reading it. I could see them doing this, trying to figure it out. Congratulations on 1 million subs. Thanks. Growth initially is slow, then exponential. Just keep watering it. By the way, I used the tip line to post an idea on the Toba catastrophe theory, but I haven't heard back. I appreciate that, Dan. A couple of things. Growth is definitely initially slow. So you're right about that. When you put something in the tips line, you're not going to hear back. That goes into a Google sheet that I just read. I don't write back to them. So when you submit the form, it just lands on a Google sheet. It's not an email that goes to me that I write back to. But you could hit me up with an email or something. I'll write you back. Maybe, probably, possibly. Victoria Clark Eakin, $4.99. Longtime fan, first time caller. That takes me back. My family love you and Hecklefish. We watch you weekly. Always looking forward to what Hecklefish has to say. Yeah, he's a trip. Longtime fan, first time caller. Open lines. Ms. Z. Is that you in the avatar, Ms. Z? Is that your icon? You're way down there. You know what? I would have framed you differently. I would have rule of thirds you there. I would have had something a little differently. And I wouldn't have gone with the beige background. I can't really, we'll work on it. Please take a look at Earth Changes channel. Again, with the homework. He is a researcher who studied this at length, states pole shift at 40 degrees at 39.6 now. I'm not sure what you mean, Ms. Z. I think even like Hapgood proposed a 40-degree shift and later revised it to 15 because they couldn't get the physics to work. So I'm interested in that. You'll have to email me or put it in the tips line. I'll take a look at it, but we probably are not going to do another pole shift video unless it comes up in another end of the world video. I mean, I like the subject. Rich Missimer is back for $2. Wife found out about the first tip. My bad, great show. I hope we didn't get you in Dutch with the wife. Brock P Fund, $5. Congrats on the 27K live chat. That was crazy, wasn't it? I couldn't believe that. Love the channel. I just bought a mug. Keep up the great work. Did you buy a mug like this, Brock? This is a Hecklefish for President mug. And you can get this at shop.thewildfiles.com. You can get this right now if you want to support your favorite YouTube channel. We keep the prices intentionally low. Unlike some other channels out there on YouTube that'll charge you $20 for a mug, most of our mugs are only about $10. So get those while supplies last, because after this live stream, I am going to raise the prices on those because it's too low, right, Brock? It's too low. Luna Love is back. That's definitely a banana. $2. Hecklefish is real, but he's an alien himself. Maybe I can't explain it. I think he's a hybrid. Frank Russo. Is that that's either your name or you're a Gen X Jerky Boys fan? Hoping for the latter. And look, and if you know what I'm talking about, you're awesome. Hey, Jay, huge fan from early. Looked into Chan a lot. One difference between copies was MTN name was changed. NORAD was built there at the same timeline. Oh, Mountain name was changed. Yeah, I've heard that too. A couple of different ways. Mount Weather was about the same time. And I forget the other one. It'll come to me, and then the story will be gone. But yeah, I appreciate all of that, Frank. Pew Pew Pikachu. I'm just going to take a minute. Look at the icon. Look at the username. Just let it wash over you. 100 knocks. Have you heard of Boyd Bushman and the Deathbed Confession? Cheers from Norway. I haven't, but I love the Pew Pew Pikachu. Is that you with the beard and in the cheeks? Adorable. JS Labs, totes adorbs for a $2.79 Canadian. Thanks, JS. Pilot Morgan, $2. DMT and Clockwork Elves would make a good video. I agree. We just got to be careful of the algorithm. St. Peter for $200.
Strap in, guys. It's a long one.
Human, I want you to know I said human. Thank you for all the dough tipping, as I'm sure you will find. Always is a good time.
I don't know the dance.
Ooh, it's fun to tip the F-I-S-H. It's fun to tip the F-I-S-H.
And he just left. All right, let's see. What do we got going on here in the chat? Let's see. What do we got? Psychoholic 1000 for $10. Always look forward to a new video from the Wi-Files. Love your work. Greetings from Austin, Texas. Thank you, Psychoholic. We're glad that you're a fan. Late Night Donna for $2. Super sticker. Donna, thank you very much. Ninja Bat 007, $20. X-Class Flare, we're done. What do you think about that one? X-Class Flare, AJ?
If an X-Class flare hits us, we're done. Sorry to, I knew that was a long one, so I went to use the restroom. Speaking of long one. Where was she? There we go. Nick TD for $50.
Well, I'll be a son of a fish. That's a nice tip.
One of my favorite channels, but I need more content. So would you mind renting a time machine and create more for me? Thanks. Yesterday. I'd love to, man. I could use a time machine. I would love to. Tween 13, I think, 2 pounds. Any thoughts on Interview with a Man in Black? Do you mean interview a man in black? I don't know what you mean. If you know one that will take my call, I'll talk to him for you. Lauren Rodriguez, HSBCP for $5. Thanks, Lauren. Oh, hang on. What do we got there? What's your avatar? Is that a sea anemone? I just wanted an excuse to say sea anemone. But hang on. Christopher Barfoot for $100 Canadian.
I'm a goldfish. In a steel bowl I swim. I wanted a tip. I wanted a tip.
Love your channel. Keep up the great work. Tonight's story was similar to the book of Revelation. It was. And if you read the book, there's a lot of that in there. He was clearly a religious man, clearly a Christian. He talks about Genesis, Revelation. He talks about, and not just beginning of the world and end of the world. There's a lot of Bible stuff in there. If you're into that, I am. Thoughts on the 2004 earthquake and tsunami that was so powerful it knocked the world axis off a degree or two. That's why we have global warming. Would love to tell my UFO story. Well, a couple of things, Christopher Barfoot. I talked about that earthquake and tsunami in the video tonight. I moved past it because I talked about 3. That one, the Japanese earthquake, that big one, and the one in Chile, that was the year before the Japanese one. But the thing about these big earthquakes, 8.9, 9 on the Richter scale, they all change the Earth's axis by a tiny, tiny bit. And they all speed the Earth up by a tiny, tiny bit. They all do that. But the moon acts as a counter to that because the moon is slowing the Earth down, which I'm sure you knew. When the dinosaurs roamed the Earth 65 million years ago, days were shorter because the Earth moved a lot faster. And as far as axis off a degree, that's why we have global warming. Global warming is really in the eye of the beholder. Blackbeard for $10. Aliens are an advanced species of humans. I like that theory, Blackbeard. That one makes a lot of sense to me. It makes more sense than aliens, from another planet, because it's just, space is so big. It almost makes more sense that there's an advanced human civilization underground or underwater than aliens coming across light years. It just makes more sense to me. Oh, that's Ron Tarpey, $50.
Tippity doo dah, tippity yay. My oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of money coming my way. Tippity doo dah, tippity yay.
All right. Thanks, Ron. I appreciate that. I hope you got your $50 worth with that lovely rendition of Zippity Doo Dah from the Disney movie Song of the South that has been thoroughly canceled. Big Nab Z for £2. High Brazil Mystery Island off the coast of Ireland. That one's coming up because I like that one a lot. It would have fit in pretty well tonight, but I couldn't find a connection between High Brazil and that flood event. But that one's coming up. It's on the short list. Lynn Rotherley, what's with the icon? Oh, those are stones. Those are stones. Stones in a flower. At first, I thought it was like, like the part of a clam, like a steamer. I don't want to say. I know there's kids watching. I don't want to say what I thought it was. But hi from Liverpool, UK. How can we contact you? You can email me at the Y-Files. And Liverpool, coming in an upcoming episode, we'll be talking about the Liverpool time slips, which are super fun. Thomas James is back for $5. I think hooking all our GPUs and CPUs together for crypto was really just us feeding AI in its infancy. Idea? It could be. It certainly could be. I don't think so. As a former crypto person who I mined as well, I don't think so. But I can't help but think about that Rick and Morty episode where Rick, his car runs out of electricity, and it turns out, we got to plug up there. It turns out that he's got a miniature universe in the car creating energy, and they don't know that they're creating energy. He goes down there, and they're like, walking on treadmills or whatever to power Rick's car. But they think that they're just generating power for themselves, but most of the energy goes to Rick. So, and there's layers on that. If you're into Rick and Morty, it's a good episode. So maybe the GPUs and CPUs were mining crypto, and that's the cover story. Like, well, let them think they're mining crypto, give them some coins, let them make some money, but we'll take all of that processing power for this. It'd be a good movie. Victoria Y, support the Y-Files. Go to patreon.com, the Y-Files, fun, free perks. Or you can grab yourself a Hecklefish for President mug from the Y-Files store. Are you clicking these? Is that the deal? I would like to see someone tell about Art Bell's last days. It just don't add up. And did his wife get out of the Philippines? I thought she did. I thought his wife I thought Art passed away here. I could be wrong about that. And if I am, a shame. But Art is buried here. He's in Pahrump. We're going to do a road trip to see his grave, actually, and pay our respects. So I know that his death was a little weird. But I won't cover that just because I'm an Art Bell fan and I have a lot of respect for him. And his life story has a lot of dark turns. If you know Art Bell very well, his life story has a lot of dark turns with his kids and with a bunch of stuff. So I won't cover that. But there are definitely some weird stuff with his death, but he was also a 70-year-old smoker. So, I don't know. But thanks for the tip. Jenny Sorensen for $5. Nice ringtone. Yeah, that was a classic rock band called Hanson. There's so many scenarios that indicate we should be putting money into our infrastructure. Fixing it after might not work, right? They'll fix it after. I remember last year, I think it was the winter, a bunch of people in Colorado signed up for like this green energy program in Colorado. And I forget what it was, but you basically put the energy company in charge of your thermostat. They would help keep the cost down. It's green. And then it got really cold and people were turning up their thermostat to get warm. And the power company was not allowing them to do that. 67 is all you get. Right? If you want to be green, you got to be chilly. Zen Devil for $99.99. Wow.
Hookah chaka, hookah,
Oh,
hookah, hookah chaka, hookah, hookah. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Human, you just don't realize what your tips do to me. When you tip me, I
Oh,
can
this is a long
pay
one.
my bills and you make me tingle in my gills. Oh, your tips are amazing. And I think it's crazy that you send cash to me.
Did you get your $100 worth, Zen Devil? Man, that went on for a long time. I love your channel and eagerly look forward to each new episode. I'd like to recommend to your viewers the Mysterious Universe podcast. Keep up the great work. Yeah, Mysterious Universe is a great podcast. I use them as a source all the time on the channel. In fact, I'm a paid member of their website for their articles. It's great content. So Mysterious Universe, great podcast. Brad Bailey, $10. DMT entities juxtaposed with Carl Jung's archetypes. Is there something there? That's interesting. The DMT entities are definitely there. I can tell you that with certainty. As to the archetypes, I don't know. Those archetypes would seem to be a very human construct. But maybe that's the source, in that whatever you call that world, that dimension where the entities are. Jason Morgan for $10. Thanks, Jason. Gnomish Mafia for $10. How about DMT entities and Terrence McKenna? Love this. What's with you guys in the DMT? A lot of DMT in there tonight. Wow. Should we live stream like an ayahuasca journey? Would that be super fun? My wife is shaking her head no. Mindy John for $20. Hubby and I love you. Your wife and Hecklefish. Oh, we love you. I'm going to punctuate it properly for you. Hubby and I love you, your wife and Hecklefish. Even if the world were to end tomorrow, let's all be kind and love everyone. Thank the universe for every day we had on this mother planet. Well, that's very nice, Mindy. You're a very positive person. I could learn a lot from you. But thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Say hi to hubby for me. Muku Joe for $10. I love your work. Let's hope Baba Vanga 2023 prophecy is a big miss. Otherwise, your grid concern may come real soon. Don't worry, Muku Joe. Baba Vanga is fake. Tobias for $1. Thanks, Tobias. Jack Ritchie for $10. Very kind of you, Jack. Steve Eastman, $5. Any plans to do an episode in Denver International Airport? Yes, it's been on the short list for a year. It's just finding the right story because it's such a well-known conspiracy. And you've got the issue where the people working in the Denver airport are so condescending about the conspiracy that surrounds the airport. So I'm just trying to find the right story, but I love that story and I'm trying to figure it out. It's been on the short list for a long time. It's coming. Johnny L.I. with 56. Haven't had that in a while. Greetings from Sweden. What's your opinion on the Bob Lazar story? He's believable. He's believable. I don't know. Richard Doty says he's 100% legit. That's Richard Doty. Lauren Rodriguez is back for $2. Spontaneous self-replication, the sixth observable.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
I don't know what that is. If that's something you want me to look into, send it in the tips line. If it's just a comment, well, that's cool. American Jello, $10. Happy WEF New World Order Week. Love your content. Yeah, I'd like to do the World Economic Forum. I gotta be careful. Lonnie Romero is back with his bedroom eyes. Do you think some kind of extraterrestrial object created the lake north of the Skinwalker Ranch and settled under the ridge of the bluff? If you're asking me legitimately, do I think so? The answer is no, but that could be a good part of the video. I'm not a big Skinwalker believer. I'm not saying there's not something weird going on there. I think it's a bit of a grift. Happy Dan Travels, $1.99. Just say my name. There you go, Happy Dan. Happy Dan Travels. Lane Skakis is back. $5. You should cover the mystery of the Headless Men in the Nahanni Valley. I might do that.
I'm a fish, I'm a lover, I'm a freak. In the covers, I'm a swimmer, I'm a saint. I do not feel ashamed.
No, that wasn't a tip, buddy. That was something else. Dad, a monk for $10. I can't tell what that icon is. Is that the rebel insignia? On the books class is a fleur-de-lis or is a rebel insignia. He's either French or a Star Wars fan, or both. On the books classification, random things do get marked. Retired now, but had a magazine get classified. TS, because I scribbled some notes in the back during call on 9/11. Love the work. Yeah, that's a great point, Dad, a monk. And I didn't want to get too deep into it in the video because it gets kind of, the CIA mostly is very super boring. So I believe that book was classified, just like you said. That someone had the book. I think they were probably doing background on Thomas because he was weird. He was a weirdo. And he was working on a lot of confidential classified projects. And when he was working with McDonnell Douglas, he was brought into that project and hired not because he was a great engineer. He was brought because he said he was a psychic. And the project manager didn't believe him. He just thought he was entertaining and fun to have around. He was an out-of-the-box thinker, is how he described him in his report. But other people who worked on that project said they couldn't believe that Chan Thomas wasn't fired. So CIA was definitely like, why is this guy working on missiles again? That was probably what happened. And the People magazine thing, and then there was a shopping list in there. I didn't show the shopping list on the episode, but if you have the PDF from the CIA, which you can download anytime, there's a shopping list in there. It's an interoffice memo, and it's a shopping list of like car parts, batteries. It's weird stuff with prices next to them. So I think it was just a couple of documents on a caseworker's desk, and that stuff gets classified, whether it's important or not. So as Data Monk is saying, most classified documents are just classified. That doesn't mean that they're bananas. It just means they're not for public consumption. Hyde Paranormal for 5 New Zealands. I have insomnia and binge watch your stuff. Much love from New Zealand. Hey, we love the Kiwis. Grant Wending for $19.99. Thanks, Grant. Your last name sounds like a gerund. Vince 65742 $9.99. Hi, Jen. Jen gets a $10 shout out.
Hi, Vince. Thanks.
Yeah, not talking to him. This isn't it's not doing a sex line. It's just a shout out. Voodoo Reaper for $1. Thanks, Voodoo Reaper. Sean for $2. Shout out you and Sir Fish, #1 fan, Rachel B. Her B-Day. Sean, I've been all over your wife tonight. Not literally. I mean, I've said her a bunch of times. It's Rachel Renee, by the way. It's her birthday. Keith Flora, $50.
Boom shakalaka. Thank you for the tip.
I didn't. How long was he going to stay on there? I don't know what he's doing. Haxor is back for $1.99. How about a show on pineal gland and DMT? That seems to be a recurring theme. But look, for topic suggestions, put them in the tips line. I just read them here. I will forget Haxor recommended this. I don't even know what he said. That's how quickly it goes away. So go in the tips line. Richard Bramlett for $20. Something Hecklefish plushie. LOL. Just wanted to thank not just you, but all the Wi-Fi family for binging such awesome videos on YouTube. That's a great comment. Yep. The Hecklefish plushie is something that we're going to work on. And when you squeeze him, he's going to say his catchphrases. That's going to be the thing. Tom Young, $5. New Hampshire native. Close but no cigar on your pronunciation of Mount Monadnock. Monad, not what? Close but no cigar. That works for me. Victoria's fading. I think we should let her go. Shouldn't we? Should we let her go?
I just told her that if she's ready to go, she can go at any time.
She's fading.
Be nice.
No, that's not insulting. It's tired. What? You think I'm perky over here? This is a performance.
I know.
As soon as the camera goes out, I'm like,
I'm hanging.
She's hanging in.
You're-
Did you see the
she's
cat
hanging.
tail?
what time is it? Do I have to jump on Grubhub soon? Oh,
You do. It's 9 o'clock. But
Nine-
you've
nine
got 10,248 people hanging out with us right now.
oh. What time does Applebee's close? 10,000 people. What are you guys doing?
Looking at your mug.
What are you watching? Cat.
Cat.
There's a cat.
Bean.
That's Bean. That's Bean that you saw back there. Jake Ritchie for $10. This is for all the dreamers and believers out there. Keep dreaming because we need you. Thanks, Jake Ritchie. Thanks a lot. Jules Fontenot's back $5. Adam and Eve had belly buttons. I never thought of that. How could they? I'm ADD. Spoilers here are going in one ear and out. Hey, who's this other person talking next to AJ? Very funny, Jules. Yeah, Adam and Eve had belly buttons. Did they? That wouldn't make sense, would it? So in the Adam and Eve story, Chan Thomas has a lot of thoughts on Adam and Eve. That he says that Eve was Adam's daughter. I've heard some other interpretations of the Bible that Eve was actually Adam's daughter, and Eve's mother was Lilith. Would be a fun episode. I just don't know if anyone is interested in that. John Sekulich, $50, John. I appreciate that. It really helps. E36 Blur for $1.99. Can you do an episode on the Illuminati? Yes, but there's so many Illuminati. It's hard to pick the ones to do. But yeah, we're going to do Illuminati. GF for $2 Canadian. Thanks, GF. Allenton Maurice for $2. I appreciate that. Grant Wending, 1999. Shout out from Lewis and Grant Auctions. What's your opinion on Alaska Boneyard? I don't know the Alaska Boneyard, and I don't know the Lewis and Grant Auctions, but I'm pleased to have a shout out, and I appreciate you supporting the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, consider picking up a Y-Files mug or perhaps a Fear the Crab Cat t-shirt. You can get these right now at shop.theyfiles.com. Mugs are only $10, but that price is not going to last. There's Angel again. I was wearing a tinfoil hat in my office, which was surrounded by computers, and my boss walked in. Well, that sounds very spicy, Angel. What were you doing with your computers when the boss walked in? Hunting Victor the Documentary for $19.99. It's a great username. It's all in there. Saytree Park for $5. I appreciate that. Jim Tyndall for $19.99. So do the gods / aliens keep putting us back on Earth, or do we keep just crawling? Do we just keep crawling out of the primordial ooze? John, and judging by your beard, I know that you're asking seriously. I don't know. I don't know. The idea that we're part of a cycle that happens over and over again, that makes a lot of sense to me. But there's no sound evidence on it, except for maybe Göbekli Tepe. Ronan HX, $5. Thanks, Ronan. Ronan, by the way, is a samurai without a daimyo who wanders the countryside. Mark Grattan for $2. Thanks, Mark. Aravoth, that's what it says. I don't have a lisp. $20. The sun is something with a flood, the cataclysm. The sun is on an 11,000 to 12,500 year cycle. It always resets society. It's why the Sphinx used to be a lion. It mirrored the constellation Leo prior to the tilting of the Earth. So what Aravoth is talking about there is precession of the Earth, how we kind of wobble. So the sky is different now than it was at the time when allegedly the Sphinx was built. And Sphinx at that time, if it was built, Younger Dryas, was facing Leo. And I think that's a great theory. I really do. And it could be correct. I don't think it is, because it's Leo to us, but it's just stars in the sky. So would they have chosen to also make that a lion? Maybe they would have. But I mean, if you look at Orion, to our eyes, you can kind of see the hunter, and you could see his bow, and you can see him pointing to Taurus. You can see Sirius next to him. You can see Gemini. You can see all that stuff because we're familiar with those stories, and we can look in the sky. We can make those connections. But other cultures, not other cultures a million years ago, like Chinese culture, have a whole different set of constellations. Different cultures see different things up there. So I don't know. Did they see Leo? Maybe. But I'm not sure. That's one of those that I'm not convinced about. I am convinced that the Sphinx is at least this old. I am convinced of that. Wolf Hybrid Dog Trainer, $1.99. You ever going to do one on the ancient giants? I know. I'm working on the giants. I am. People want it. I'm not a huge fan of giants, but people want it. 3-dog solution for 5 pounds, 3 o'clock in the morning here. What are you doing? What are you doing here, man? Loving every minute. Well, I'm glad. 21 trillion is a magic number used in research. Later's my louver. Well, later's to you, 3-dog. And happy to be your louver. This 21 trillion. Send that in the tips line so I don't forget. And I'm not just saying that as a blow off. I'm saying actually do that so I remember, because I'm really interested in what you mean. My initial reaction is that's, the national debt of the United States. Patrick S., when are you going to be on JRE? Your personal story is great. I was already on Rogan, already on Joe's show. Why have me on again? Kinsei Sensei, $4.99. If you like suspicious observers, check out Dutch Since. He does earthquakes and solar flares. It's not that I like suspicious observers. I subscribed to it, but he was scaring me. I had to turn it off. So you're giving me like more channels that it will terrify me. I'm going to look. I'm definitely going to check it out, but that's really mean of you. Oh, hi, hang on. Sherry Clark was there. We got to say hi to Sherry. Mike Goad or Goad, $4.99. Love the video. He'd love to hear about Stephenville, Texas UFO sightings. He's from there, so it would hit close to home. Mike, you have to put that in the tips line because I haven't heard of those. Kingsman, $9.89. Deja vu happens. That's where we are with these comments. Talking to Deja vu, that was hours ago. Uh-oh. Deja vu happens when someone is messing with the time continuum, including yourself. Could be. Can't prove it wrong. Matthew Warren, $5. He loves the channel. Thanks, Matthew. Desync D, $10. You're killing it. Keep it up. The counter arguments make it easy to recommend to people to your channel. It just screws up my YouTube algorithm with the less credible stuff out there. I know. I hear that from a lot of people, usually playfully. Because the Y-Files has a lot of people that are hard skeptics that watch the channel. They like the debunking, but they also like to see, what we're thinking. But then they get annoyed at me that in their feed is full of, conspiracies and stuff. But I'm glad that it makes it easy to recommend, because I find myself doing the same thing, because it's hard to define what the channel is. Are we a conspiracy channel? Because we're really not a conspiracy channel. But we're not a debunking channel. So what I usually tell people, like if we're at a party and we say, what's your channel about? I just say, go look.
He just stands back and watches me or Gino try to explain what the channel is about. And it's fine as I try to explain. And then I get to the part about the talking fish. And then people just stare at you like, what are you talking about?
The eyes glaze over.
Yeah.
Like, when we were at a party last weekend, and I say party, like we were at a party last weekend, like we go to a lot of parties. I don't go to a lot of parties. In fact, mathematically speaking, I never go to parties, but I happen to be at one recently. And I'm talking to this lovely young lady who's had imbibed generously, but that's fine. She was hammered by the bar at the house, and that's usually where I am at the party. I'm usually alone near the bar. So that's, because I'm antisocial. Anyway, Jen comes over and she's kind of asking what I do. Because I don't tell anyone what I do.
But tell him what happened at the party.
No. And then, so she's like, well, what's your channel about? And I just go, you wouldn't like it. And Jen's like, no, I said, she wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it. But Jen's trying to explain. She gets to the fish, and I could see that she's just like, she wouldn't like it. You don't have to check it out. You don't have to do any of that. Just have another vodka. Here's Sean. He's back. By the way, Rachel Renee is the #1 fan of the channel, and it's her birthday, in case you didn't know that. But if you've been watching this live stream, you know that at least 5 times. Rachel Renee, happy birthday. Demonic Hordes, $5. Keep up the great work. Black Eyed Children do feet. Do eat. Do Black Eyed Children do eat. I see. I read it as do feet. I thought it was a weird fetish. Do eat. I thought my brain said ET, but no, it's do eat, like an accent. Black Eyed Children is a good one. I have a story in the hopper about the BEKs, the Black Eyed Kids. Tad Johnson, $10. If you're interested, I have years of NDA regression data if you want to do a live stream on the subject. I don't want to do a live stream on that, Tad, but if you want to send in the research, if you want to email me the research, I'm happy to take a look at it. But I don't know if I would do a live stream on that. John Sekulich, $50.
Tippity doo dah, tippity. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Whoa, you want to ease up on your opinions there, boy? Coming my way.
All right, man. All right. Hang on. Because he already sang that one. But thanks, John. We appreciate that. Scroll Subtleties back for another $2. Deja Vu, heard, explained it as your brain. See comment. All right, I'm going to try to skip the ones. If I've already read your name, I'm probably going to skip you. Only because it's getting late. It's 9:20, and I don't know what time Applebee's closes. Honestly, you got to see what time Applebee's closes.
You better check.
I'm on it right now.
Okay. I'm going to read Scroll Subtly for $2. Thank you. Oh, you said this one, right? I heard it explained as your brain.
Well, hang on.
Oh,
There we go. There we
that's
go.
nice. See comment. Okay. RX Firm for $4.99. Found your channel a little bit ago. Love it. It inspired me to start my own channel. That's awesome. Keep up the great work. Shout out to Hecklefish. Did you hear that, Heck?
Well, thanks, RX, $4.99. And hang on, get that back. RX Firm. Everyone go check out RX Firm's channel. To me, that sounds like you do prescriptions. You sound like a pharmacy. But judging by your avatar, you're probably not a pharmacy. But everyone should go check out RX Firm right now.
Magnolia Bell for $2. Off topic, but Lisa Marie Presley died tonight. Yes, everybody was talking about it in the live stream. Too young.
All right. Well, that brings the energy down a little bit, but disappointed to hear that because the King's legacy is just running out.
Yeah, her family's had a lot of trouble. Anxiety of the spectacle, $10. Today's video is the answer to anyone who ever asks me what are you thinking about when I zone out? Love the channel. Thank you.
Okay.
Jay Ruiz, 100 knocks. Thank you.
I think those aren't those Norwegian, or those Crone. Norwegian ones?
Norwegian crone.
Those are Crohn's?
Yeah. Travis
That's
Austin.
that's not the bowel disease, right? That's not.
No.
He's not
Or
gassy.
the old women. Okay. Travis Austinson for $5. Did you see the new UAP report released today?
I haven't seen it.
Well, he loves your channel, though.
Well, that's very nice of him to say.
Yes,
I'm sorry, my eyes are a little sideways. I'm trying to get Applebee's done here.
I know. Nikolai for $2. Creepy avatar, Nikolai. Oh, speaking of Nikolai, I want to give a shout out to Nick, who just redid all the dev on our Discord. It's awesome.
He did?
He did. So you guys go check it out, please. And I love that you have a Discord social community now. And I think that's the same Nick. Victoria's over there doing the dance. We're doing the dance. Thank you, Nick. It looks great, and we're very excited about it. So everybody go check out the Discord. Very, very nice people over there. Steve P for $10 a. Whatever.
Your videos help me get through the cardio at the gym.
Oh.
Hope to see more Australian unexplained phenomena. We've got heaps of weird stuff. You certainly do.
And heaps of weird animals that can kill you. Travis Zizzle for 1111. Hey, bud, thanks so much for what you do. Could you tell us why you started and what keeps you motivated and the origins of our favorite fish?
Travis Izzle, I would normally actually give you this story, but a couple of things. It's we're almost 3 hours in, so I don't want to get to a few more people before Applebee's gets here. And the answer to your question is in the New Year's video I did just a week or two ago. Tells the whole origin story of the channel and how it was a whole different name. The theme song was a barbershop quartet. I mean, it was different.
Yep. It was interesting. All right. Let's see. Farscape 1 for $10. Thank you. What if each end of the world is a reboot of the simulation?
Yep. I like it.
Me
Makes
too.
sense to me. Makes a lot of sense to me there, Farscape.
Gonolith, $5. Any idea what they are not telling us? Where and what are we really?
I mean, you're asking me, Gonolith. How do I know? If they're not telling us, then we don't know. But where and what are we really? I don't know. I'm a simulation believer. So I think we're nothing, and I think we're nowhere.
I'm not, but hey. Ryan Storsbach for $5. Check into the Brown Mountain Lights in Western North Carolina. Send that to the tips line, and I will check that one out. Angolan 11584 999. My wife and I love your show. Watching now on our date night. Oh, that's nice. I love that. He's making a face, but I love that. All right, Mike D for $5.01. A YouTube question: the most dangerous of all. When YouTube age restricts, is that a form of demonetization? Do they still collect ad revenue?
It's a form of demonetization, yes. Age, because let's say Pepsi or Toyota, they're not going to advertise on an age-restricted video. So you still get advertisers, but the money is very low because it's cheap to advertise on an age-restricted video. Because the views on them are ridiculously low. You have to be logged in and have your age verified to see that video. So sponsors or advertisers don't pay any money for it. And the big ones don't even bother. So age restriction is horrible. It's really stressful for me because I work, 80, 100 hours in a week to put together an episode. And then when it gets age restricted, it's basically like I just threw the whole week away. Now it'll get plenty of views from you guys, the fans, which is great, but it's like no pay. It's like being suspended without pay for a week. It's really hard. And about a month ago, I had 2 out of 3 age restricted. Like, got dinged, and then a good one, and it got dinged again. So that was a light month. I think I ate cat food for a week. I didn't, but I literally ate tuna for 2 months.
Justin Brault for $5 Canadian. Oh, he submitted his application for a position of video editor. We will check it out. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, Justin. And the fact that you gave $5 only helps your chances a little bit. $10 would have helped it twice as much.
Richard Brunette for $5 Canadian. I studied dreams after a DMT trip. I believe our dreams run us through multiple possibilities to prepare us, and deja vu is simply dream recollection. Maybe. No comment there from AJ. Jacob Carver for $2. Aliens or demons, you're so close to realizing it.
Aliens or demons, I'm so close to realizing it. Okay. I don't have to be a believer for you to be a believer. I don't condescend to anyone for their beliefs. There could be demons. If there are, I really don't want to see any. And I prefer my sheltered reality where I don't think there are demons, but there could be.
I spit out my gum because people were making fun of my chewing in the comments.
You can't chew gum on the live stream. They'll brutalize you.
Wow. Yeah, it was rough. Carl, the Shiba Inu for $1.99. Hello, me and my dad watch every episode you upload. Well, thank you, Carl.
Hey, Carl, and I'm sorry that I was fisting during your comment, but
Stop
tell your dad we
that.
said hi.
Rude. All right. GF for $2 Canadian. Show idea, Coral Castle in Florida.
That's on the short list. And I mean that literally. That went out for assignment today.
Awesome. Catch for $5. Start selling actual tinfoil hats. I'll be your first customer.
I'm trying to find a way to get to do those.
Yeah. We don't want to just sell you a wad of tinfoil.
No, ideally it would be a beanie that's covered in like some kind of foil material, but I can't find that.
Yeah. And I would make them, but then
No,
I don't have the time.
no. She's not making anything.
Dana for $4.99. Dybbuk boxes, maybe. I don't know. Huge fan.
I don't know. They put it in the tips line.
SatServe for 99 cents.
Much
Thank you,
appreciated,
SatServe.
SatServe.
And thank you for your service. Looks like you are a firefighter in Yonkers.
Is that right?
Yeah, see?
That's New York's bravest right there.
I had put my glasses on so I could see. Xavier Martinez for $9.99. I know you don't like cryptids, but I think Bigfoot needs a mention.
Well, I'd like to mention that Bigfoot isn't real. How does that grab you, Javier? Does that scratch you where you itch? No, I have a Bigfoot story coming at you. I promise. And it's one that, as a non-believer in Bigfoot, that made me go, what? And it has such a twist ending. I'm really desperately trying not to ruin it because it has such a crazy twist ending. But there's video of this. There's video of the Bigfoot, of the military, black helicopters, Quonset huts that appear overnight, all kinds of stuff. You're going to love it.
And Dana, I'm sorry that was underwhelming for you. I know you waited for a really long time. We're super grateful that you're a big fan. And thank you for the $4.99 donation.
Who's Dana?
She was asking about Dybbuk boxes. And
Oh, I'm sorry, Dana.
Sorry, Dana.
Is that a skeleton doing a selfie in the mirror? Is that what that is? Sexy skeleton?
I think so.
Okay.
Hefty Fun Seeker for $10. Whenever Jen says so, I dump her right off the screen. You guys are the best. He does that.
And I'm thinking of doing it now, but Jen likes to read the comments, so I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Do it. Dump me off the screen. It's fine.
No, come on.
Okay. Let's see. Hacksaw $1.99. You call that a podcast? That was like 2 hours ago. I don't know what it was in reference to, but thank you for the $2. Woody for $4.99. Have you thought about a story about the South Atlantic anomaly? Also, your stuff would make a great podcast.
Hey, thanks, Woody. I almost brought the South Atlantic anomaly into this video because it's a magnetic field issue. And what Woody's talking about is that the Earth's magnetic field is super weak, basically on the southern third of the world over southern South America and the southern part of the planet. I just didn't cover it just for whatever reason, but it could be interesting, if we do another video about magnetism or solar storms. I don't know if we will for a while, but it's a cool comment. It's cool that you know about it.
And we have a podcast, so check us out wherever you get your podcast needs. Let's see. I don't know.
The Y-Files is Victoria, did you hear her say podcast needs? That was her ad read?
Sorry.
Wherever you get your podcast needs.
Beautiful.
Good heavens.
Hey.
I'm putting the plug in.
Pull the plug. Yeah, the Wi-Fi. There's a podcast version of the show on everywhere, but it's just the audio of the show, except on Spotify. There's video on Spotify if you want. And here's a secret, just between us, just between you and me. It's just us here. The the podcast version goes up about a day earlier than the YouTube show. So like tonight's video was up in podcast last night on Spotify with video. So check it out. I'm just saying it because it's fun and it's, you know, a private thing that we have between us, you know, it's kind of intimate. Because that's not, podcast is not monetized. So no commercials, nothing like that.
Okay. Jeff Leonhardt for $10. I've watched so many of your videos. I'd feel guilty if I didn't contribute.
You $5 more and you get a private dance.
No, we don't want to see that. Anxiety of the spectacle for another $10. My 8 and 9-year-old daughters get to stay up late on Thursday because of you and the fish. That's adorable. I love that. Thank you. Matt for $2 got his lizard people mug today.
Wow, a lizard people mug. And if you'd like your own Y-Files mug, you can get those at shop.theyfiles.com. The prices on mugs are very, very low, and they're not going to stay that way. So check out the store now. Support your favorite YouTube channel today. Lizard People, LIZZID, PEPPLE as one word, not how Matt did it, as one word will give you 10% off everything in the store.
Short Bus, $2. Great content, sir. Kudos for being original.
You're laughing at, why are you laughing at Short Bus?
You know why.
Why is that funny to you? Why is that funny?
Because it's not nice. So I should.
And what is that a football helmet in his icon?
No, it's a bus.
Oh, because a football helmet would be funnier, but
stop. Whoa. What? Mike D for $100.
Wiggle it just a little bit. I say wiggle it. Thanks for the tip, human.
This last episode was the best. Ties a lot of experts together. It was like you were reading my mind. P.S. Hecklefish gets half of this. Oh.
All right. Thanks, Mike D. It's very generous, and that really helps the channel. It really does.
Thank you so much. Striker Pinoy, $10. Kurt Russell was also great in Stargate. And RDA also played Jack Neal in Stargate 1. Thank you.
I didn't know that.
Estelle 88 for $100. Wow.
Boom goes the dynamite. Thank you, human.
Thank you so much. My wife and I love your content. This is for you, Jen, and the team. Thank you guys so much. Mike Gailey for $10 just found this channel. Love it. Found it about a month ago.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
D Grisham for $20. Thanks for telling great stories while remaining objective. Have you ever gone down to the Dulce, New Mexico down the Dulce, New Mexico rabbit hole? Supposedly it's one of several underground bases connected by some torrents.
We have a whole video on the Dulce story. Phil Schneider. It's all there, D Grisham. And it's not that far back to find it. But yeah, we covered it.
All right, guys, we are moving right along. Robert Wolf Mods for $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. The Project Room for $10. Love your video. Love your format. My son gets a kick out of Hecklefish whenever we watch a new one.
Cool. I don't know why anyone lets their kids watch this, but I'm glad you do.
Let's see.
I tried to. The jokes have actually gotten a little gentler in the last year. When I learned the kids are watching, Hecklefish was he was saucy in the early days.
He was very, very saucy. All right, let's see. Kazoop for $5. Which one is that one? Euro? What is that? The L.
It's pounds.
Pounds. Thank you. Would love a video on info hazards like solar plexus, clown gliders, or the despair code. That could have been Greek. I don't know what any of that is, but I like the avatar.
I love this one. Keep the ideas coming, human.
Ricky Hyde for $4.99. I appreciate your videos, man. Can't wait till the cartels in Mexico blow over and you start digging into them. Keep up your awesome content.
Yeah, we'll wait on that for a minute, Ricky Hyde.
Yeah, that would be
It would be uno problemo. De peligroso.
for 40,000 COP. Hi, AJ. First of all, this is like $9 USD. Wow. Thank you for the great video. Will there be any episode on adrenochrome or secret drinks to prolong the youth?
I'd like to. YouTube doesn't like the adrenochrome stories, so but I do. So I'm trying to figure it out.
Where? What
Cat.
am I doing? Sorry, I closed my comments. I thought I hit the end broadcast button. That would have been bad. Shy D, $20. AJ, we at Love Always Self love this channel and thank you for all your investigative skills and content. Have you seen the reports on X-class solar flares just in the last week?
I have. I follow that stuff. And going back to suspicious observers, he'll give a report every day on the solar activity. But it's terrifying.
Sorry, I'm switching back and forth between the starred and the live so I can see what people are.
Well, you handle the live then. I'll bang through these.
You do that, yeah.
There's Trace Helper. Word on the street is that Hecklefish lives in a bowl of Willie Nelson's vintage bong water. Oof. Ooh. Now, he's more of an alcohol vodka kind of guy. You know, the joints don't stay lit down there. So no bong water for him. But when we were in the weed game, we got to meet Annie Nelson. Jen spent some time with Annie Nelson. Very nice lady. Weren't we stuck at a table with her at the last event? No. Well, we weren't stuck. She was very nice. Rocket Sauce 999 Y-Files gets real. A podcast interviewing interesting guests once a month, maybe even on separate channel or on Patreon. Keep doing what you're doing. Throw Hecklefish a couple of extra flicks. Thanks, Rocket Sauce. You know, I'd like to do some kind of format. I'll need time, but some kind of podcast format would be cool. I didn't realize I'm way zoomed in here. Oh, no, I'm not. Chris Hudson, $20. Another great episode. Keep it the good work. Thanks, Chris. And I'm sorry if I'm just blowing through your comment. I don't mean to. You guys are very generous. I got to say hi to Scott DeWolf for $20 Canadian. It's always good to see in the comments. So my thoughts are dystopian type movies or TV show that either happens after a big earth changing event, something like we could be still around for if it really happened. Oh, okay. Yeah. I like that stuff. I'm trying to think of what would be the most realistic, you know, because Waterworld was crazy, but I'm telling you, I like that movie. I don't know. Well, I got to think about it. Inner Sciences Society, $9.99. Just know that a lot of the topics you cover, a lot of us are familiar with, but the way that you cover them is great. Do Bob Lazar, you make it different, new, and fun. Thanks, Inner Sciences Society. I like that. It's very nice of you. I don't know what Inner Sciences Society is, but everyone should go check out Inner Sciences Society for all your science needs. Summer Sturgill, $10. I'm going to be getting a tattoo of Hecklefish. I dare you. I dare you to get a tattoo of Hecklefish. Right? You want to see it?
Yes.
Where?
Absolutely.
And that's Summer Sturgill for all your Hecklefish tattoo needs right there. There she goes. Shane Olson just shouting out. Andrew Thornborough, $20. Great content. I imagine doing research for each theory you start to build a sense. If a theory holds any water, that's true. From theories you've covered, what theory have you found that had the most credible evidence or to be real? The one that kind of shifted my thinking was for some reason, is the moon is a spaceship. I'm telling you, I'm a skeptic. Went into that story thinking that it was nuts. And I came out of that story thinking, it makes a lot of sense. Kyle Billings, $10. Have you ever heard of the Fall Brothers and their pagan government conspiracy theories? I have not. Worth looking into the belly of the beast. You put that in the tips line. It sounds good. Hey, would you blow me? $19.99. You really look into all of the ancient religious historical stories around end of days, especially the Green Man revolving around the Aurora Borealis. Here's a tip for you, Haywood. After I read your name, I'm reading the comment out of my mouth, but I'm not understanding it because I'm still thinking about, hey, would you blow me? Robert E. for $10. Can you do a show on Siberia's mysterious cauldrons and the Death Valley? I can do a show on whatever you want. It's got to go in the tips line. If you put it here, I'm not going to remember. You might have heard me say that before, but I meant it. Hey, can you look into Billy Meyer? Yes, he has very clear footage of UFOs. His story is very, very compelling. It is. I know that story. Looking at a video by Randolph Winters. I don't know that one. That's interesting, Sal. Thanks for that. Yeah, that is a good story. Marcus Blankendahl, $49.99.
Cha-ching! I appreciate the tip, human. Time to hit the tables, baby.
Speak candidly on your thoughts toward Thoughty 2, arch rival, any beef? I don't know why you'd think there'd be a beef. I don't have a beef with any other creator. Honestly, I don't communicate with any other creator. I'm not enemies, not friends, not frenemies. I don't, the channel has been big for 2 weeks. So I don't think anybody knows who I am. So he's not an arch rival. I like Thoughty 2's channel for the most part. I prefer his videos that are a little bit more either I would say grounded or more serious. But he's funny. It's when he covers the weird stuff, he just goes full weird and he never grounds it. But I don't have a beef with the guy. In fact, how could you argue with what he's doing? He's got a zillion subscribers. So yeah, I'm a subscriber to his channel. Shout out Thoughty 2. All seeing 1999. There's more to this topic that you didn't touch on. Separately, the evidence isn't as compelling, but if taken together, it's undeniable. I'd like to send you the evidence, but maybe too late to do. If interested, I'll send. Let me know. All seeing. I'm not going to do a follow-up on this. So the story's probably past. If you want me to read anything, I read everything that you guys send. So I'm happy to do it, but we're probably done with the polar shift, at least for now, unless it comes up with something else. And not speaking about you, but just in general, if you're sending me, don't send me something because you need help exposing it. I can't help you. If you have the invention for free energy that's going to save the world and you want me to help you, I can't do it. I have enough projects. New Rebel TV. Wow, can I book Hecklefish for a B-Day party? And if not, a shameless plug will do. Haha, love the balance analysis of content. Well, here's your plug. New Rebel TV is an outstanding, it looks like you teach fencing. New Rebel TV is an outstanding fencing channel. If you want to learn how to fence, if you want to learn ripostes or different stances, maybe you want to brush up on the foil or maybe some of the other weapons, I would go to New Rebel TV. It's one of the best fencing channels on YouTube. Really outstanding. Second Earth for $20. I was on Sunset Boulevard during pandemic too. I'm sorry to hear that. I lived on Larrabee's next to the Viper Room. Know exactly where you were, Second Earth. Love the show. Keep it boing. Keep it boing. I know he means going. I know. I'm just scrolling to see who this. Whoa, there's 1,000 of those. Any chance of looking at Australia's Westalls? What? Yeah, are you an Aussie sending yen? Drivers at Applebee's. The time is running out. We're slowly circling the bowl. This turd is about to go down the pipe. Doug K for $20. Dude, I'm new to your stuff. Love it. Why do you have a thumbtack on Northern Nevada? Tonopah, Reno? By the way, ancient equator is 30 degrees off today's equator. I don't think so, Doug. I'm thinking cosmic impact, vaporized polar cap, polar shift. Well, it depends on what you mean by ancient. If you mean within the last couple of million years, then we're not 30 degrees off. If anything, we're just a hair off. Although I'm open to the evidence. The thumbtack on Northern Nevada is actually on the Mustang Ranch, which is a brothel that I worked for a while. That's why that's up there. Shout out to the Mustang Ranch. If you're a trucker, you're in Sparks, Nevada, you can go in there and actually just walk in and say, hey, would you blow me? And they will. Matt Tobbs, $9.99. Love the show. New to the channel, but have gone back and enjoyed past episodes. Thanks for that. Thanks for keeping me anxious. Keep it up. I'm sorry, Matt. After some of these episodes, I'm just a puddle of goo in a good way. Pillbox Gaming showing big guns in the avatar. Everyone just look at these guns. They might even be oiled. Pillbox Gaming may be oiling the muscles for the picture. I appreciate that, looking very sexy and powerful. One night when I was sleeping, I had something pushing on my chest and breathing heavy in my ear. Freaked me out. Judging by your picture, that could have been your cellmate. Paul S. Rohrbauer for $50. Please group Patreons by tier in the credits. I support the channel because I love it, but I wouldn't mind being close to the top of the list. Paul, if I would do it for anyone, I would do it for you because you shower this channel with money. Actually, all I do is I click export from Patreon. I get a CSV file, and then I pull it into Excel, and I sort it by name, either alphabetically forwards or backwards. I kind of randomize it, and I drop it in the video. If I have to do that and sort through 1,100 names and pull you out, it's a bit of a monkey in my wrench. So I don't know if I could do that. Instead, I just shower you with praise every time you throw money this way. I mean, anyone who watches the Y Files has heard of Paul S. Rohrbauer by now. And if you haven't, go to his channel. He also teaches fencing. Tom O'Keefe, $10. Please do an episode on the Urantia book, interesting history on its creation over several decades, with the equally interesting Dr. William Sadler, who's a friend of Houdini. I love that story, Tom Keefe. Send that in the tips line. I'm just scrolling because, suspicious observers, of course, hopefully getting a bump in views tonight. I'm scrolling. There's Cash Bringer. For $10, have you done a video on the Thule Society or Thule Society, depending on how obnoxious you are? I touched on them a little bit in Operation High Jump. Uh-oh, here comes my driver. For those who don't know, Thule Society is kind of a wacky occult society within the Nazi Party. And I believe this is going to be our last comment for the night.
Do one more. You have to do one more after that.
I was going to do this one. Ad B, $50.
Heyo, making it rain over here.
How about a video on deep on government monitoring programs like Echelon, not just for. All right, let me get the door. I have a video where I talked on Echelon a little bit.
I can't remember which one he talked about Echelon on, but ADB is asking about a video that goes deep on government monitoring programs, not just from the U.S. side, but from other governments like TikTok and others, and how some governments incentivize allowing them to access via media, loans, etc. He's done some of that. There was a really interesting one that he did about how another government had a listening device in like a high government office, and I can't remember the video, but it was super interesting because they used a device that couldn't be found when you like swept for bugs or anything, because it could only be activated if somebody was like shooting a device at it. I'm really killing this story, guys, so I apologize for that, but it was really interesting.
Weirdest sex toy ever.
That's my giraffe flower holder.
It was funny. Victoria was like, she was just jacking around and she heard sex. She went, whoop. Whoop.
So you have to comment on this one.
That's the naughty giraffe.
No, it's not.
That's Mr. Naughty.
That is a bud vase, and not that kind of bud. It is a flower vase.
What?
That is made.
Hello, Jenny. It's Mr. Naughty.
Would you read this comment and the amount, please?
Taco Tuesday, $200.
Oh, thank you for stuffing the old tip jar, human.
So check out Taco Tuesday's YouTube channel for all your taco needs. Everybody go over there and take a peek. Hey, look, I love tacos.
Did Taco Tuesday want a plug for his channel?
I'm assuming. There goes Bean.
All right, I'm gonna take a look. There's got to be a million Taco Tuesdays, unless Taco Tuesday. If you grab that handle, let's see if he grabbed his handle.
Now everybody in the chat.
That's not him. I can't find his channel.
Okay. Now everybody in the channel is talking about how they want tacos.
How they
No, I
want
want
tacos?
Now I want
I thought they were talking about how they want a little
No.
Mr. Not.
They were not talking about that. Shame on you. But Taco Tuesday, thank you for your very, very generous donation. And sorry it took us so long to get to you. I think like 2 hours ago, he asked why we hadn't gotten to his yet. So it's a long one. Slayer forever.
Oh, thank you, human. You made my dorsal fin tingle.
If you want your dorsal fin to tingle, can I interest you in a Mr. Naughty? It's apparent you put a lot of work into giving your viewers top-level content, and I, like most people watching, surely agree. Appreciate the blood, sweat, and tears. Much respect. Well, thank you for that, Slave Forever. We literally had all three of those. In putting together the studio, there was blood involved when someone dropped a cabinet on my toe. Probably me. Probably me.
It was not me.
It was
fell
most
off the
likely
dolly.
80% my fault, or 60, someone. And yeah, I mean, it dropped right on my toe, and you'll be happy to know, Jenny, and everyone watching, that the toenail has officially fallen off.
Has it finally?
So no, you want me to show you?
No, you don't even like to show me your feet. We don't need to see your foot.
Hang on. Let me
No.
just hang on a second.
He's not going to do that. Look, you guys, when that cabinet fell on his toe, I literally thought I was ready to emergency room run. I thought it may have literally cut his toe off. Like, it was so bad. I guess luckily it just turned horrendously purple, but it was bad. It was like a metal top cabinet that fell right off of the dolly and landed flat on his toe. And I thought I might have to like grab it and put it in ice and take it with us to the hospital to attempt to reattach his smushed toe. It was bad. It was bad.
Worst takeout ever.
Gross.
There's Kevin Villa, a longtime supporter of the channel, bought my wife a Hecklefish shirt, told me she's not going to wear it. I would call a lawyer. Last night for date night, she comes out after getting ready with the shirt on. Aha! We had a great time. Huge conversation started at the restaurant. Perfect. Hey, Kevin, here's something from Miss Villa. I'm just saying. I think we're going to wrap it up. We got to most everybody. Paul's throwing more money at us. I see that in there. Thank you, Paul. That's amazing. Arnold Hill, Dwayne Fong, Ritesh, Kurt Emig. I promise I'm not making these names up. Andrew Reynolds, there's a name I could pronounce. Jordan Parker, Trevor Hands, and Hey, Would You Blow Me is the big one for tonight. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out and supporting the channel. It's been amazing. And we'll see you next week.